like this. Right here. Like this. Go like this. Go like this. Like this. Like this. Low, 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 low. Low, 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 low. Hey, the audio worked correctly this time. That's 1 out of 4. Hey, UTN. How's, yeah, it's amazing, huh? First time all week, I think. So, how's everybody doing? Got big plans for the weekend? I am starting a garden. And I'm really looking forward to it so much. So I was shopping for dirt today. I found dirt I'm going to get 25 bucks. Let's see. What am I looking for here? That's not what I'm looking for. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Let's see. So, I am very upset with YouTube, as you might guess. I'm so tired of YouTube being total idiots. It's like everything about YouTube, right, is I didn't get it yet. I'm gonna get the sunshine dirt. It's sunshine. I don't know. The guy at the Home Depot. It's a square. It's vacuum packed. It says it's got everything in it. I looked it up online. It's got like it's like everybody. There's a bunch of reviews. Everybody seems to like it. 20-year-old growers. Yeah, sunshine mix. Does that sound okay? I think that'll work. It seemed like it. It seemed. I mean, you know what you're talking about. So I'm still just guessing. I was so hoping to get the Hydro store as a sponsor. I told them, man, that way, we can come into the store and we can film and we can show people that everything's cheaper at this store than it is at the fucking Home Depot or online. And not only can we show them that, but we can show them that when you go there and you say, I don't know what to get, they'll have good ideas for you. You know what I mean? As opposed to guessing what to get. So the sunshine mix sound okay, Wolka? Is that okay or not? Not sure. Yeah. Yeah, it sounded like at the Home Depot on their website that the people who were there, who were using that, really liked this stuff. So. And it's not the cheapest stuff, but they didn't have the black gold. Michael was saying use the black gold. I don't know about the black gold. I don't know anything. I'm new. That's why I wanted the Hydro store so bad. But I'm getting better. But I'm getting much better, right? I mean, I actually have a wee bit of confidence about this grow. I think I can do it. As I was saying, anybody else wanna anybody else want to sue Google? Because I just want to sue the fuck out of Google, man. I got to figure out. I guess I should figure out who Tulsi Gabbard's attorney is. Maybe he wants to start a class action suit. So because YouTube is supposed to be about the people making videos, and it's not about that. It's about corporate fucking shit. It's about corporate fucking, commercial fucking people using this amateur website, uploading website for, this for everybody. I get so mad at these big money people. They just don't belong on this page, I would really like to sue Google. I really would. Google has fucked me again and again and again. Okay. And they're still, last night during the show, right, I captured and edited and rendered and uploaded and published a Tulsi Gabbard video, right? It's an interview with Sean Hannity. Now, this morning when I got up and I looked at the page, the Fox News had blocked that Tulsi Gabbard interview. Okay, now an interview with a sitting congressman and a presidential candidate for the president of the United States is absolutely 100% fair use video. Those words do not belong to fucking Fox News. The words that a sitting congressperson is speaking, those belong to the American people. That's why there are laws of fair use. And for whatever reason that Google and YouTube and Fox and MSNBC and NBC and CNN and everybody else wants to act like their news is not news. You know, like it's fucking, I mean, why don't you just come out, CNN, and say that you're fake news? Why don't you just come out, Fox News, and say that you're fake news? And then the whole world will know, and then you can have your little copyright because you're not real news, you're fake news. But if you're real news, if you're there to disseminate information to the public, I have every fucking right in the world to publish it. And Google is way out of line, siding with the likes of Fox and NBC. I mean, they're supposed to be YouTube. It's supposed to be about you and I. They're supposed to be about the people that are producing the videos. They're not. They're everything that they've done. It seems like everything that YouTube has done since or Google has done since they've taken over YouTube is just make it less and less about the people that are actually producing videos. And I'm so tired of it. I just want to sue the fuck out of Google so that I can so they can't, so to stop them from doing this shit. I mean, it's got they have to follow the law, but they only have to follow the law if I have an attorney or if we have an attorney, because otherwise they can push us around any way they want and there's really nothing we can do about it. And that's a big part of what I hate about American justice and PragerU, huh? Okay, so let's see. It's not right. What YouTube, what Fox and CNN, and I mean, CNN blocked the entire debate. Again, they blocked clips of the debate. They blocked two videos. One of them was a Fox video of mine. They blocked two videos of the president giving a speech and claimed it to be part of the debate. Okay, this is completely illegal. It is, it's one thing to claim their own videos and say that it's not fair use, which is a load of shit. But to claim someone else's videos and block it, they blocked two Donald Trump speeches saying that they were copyright from the CNN fucking debate on the 15th. Okay, and they blocked the debate completely. Nobody can, unless you watch it on CNN, you can't watch it. And nobody wants to watch your shit on CNN. And you know why? Because you don't care about the people. The people will say stuff and you'll block out all the fucking comments because you don't want to hear it. And I think, honestly, that's the reason CNN and Fox News and everybody else, they don't like me being in control of your speech. They don't like me being the one who's blocking or not blocking the comments, because they need to control that dialogue, because otherwise you might just focus on the fact that CNN is completely despicable, as Tulsi Gabbard said during the debate, to CNN's despicable faces. I'm just saying, right? So, and that's it too, the Big Brother, man. That's it, the Big Brother. I hate the fucking Big Brother. I hate the government. I hate these giant corporations who just act like laws don't apply to them. You know, and then of course they apply to all of us. We have no choice in the matter. But if you don't do what the government says, if you don't do what the law says, you get penalized. Not CNN, not NBC, not Google, but you do. You get penalized again and again and again. We talk about this police state bullshit over and over again on this show, and this is part of it, and it's just not right. We deserve better. Okay, everybody who uses YouTube deserves better. YouTube could be 1,000 times better as the biggest soapbox in the entire planet, where anyone can take their stand and say their piece. But that's not who they are. That's not who they're about at all. Although that was the original idea, and it makes me so sad that just because Google has enough money to come along and purchase this company and then turn it into shit. You know, take the greatest soapbox in the fucking planet and turn it into, you know, make it impossible to use, because they don't appreciate you or your speech or your thought or your mind. They think you are a problem and they want to contain it. And I'm tired of that. And it'd be really, really good if we just fucking put them in their place. And if we had a good lawyer, I really hope Tulsi gets a $50 million, but I don't think that's going to put Google in its place. You know, I want to sue the fuck out of them and make them like answer to all of their YouTube producers and publishers and, you know, the people who they're supposed to be serving. Because it ain't CNN and it ain't Fox News. That's not who YouTube is supposed to be serving. NBC. Fuck NBC. Fuck you, Comcast. You suck so much. All right. So I'm about ready for a bong hit. I haven't had a bong hit yet today. Or at least since this morning. So that sounds pretty good. And anyways, this is a call-in show. If anybody else wants to talk about whatever else you'd like to talk about, you're welcome to call. Bing bong. Or else we can just, you know, move on to our weekends, because I'm fine with that too. But you know, we just got here at 20 people. It's so nice you're here. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page in case you're new. Hello, caller. How are you today?
How are you today, Mike?
I'm good. Who is this, Michael?
Well, you can call me any name in the book. You know who I am. I've called you before.
All right. Well, I'd prefer to call you by your name.
Betty.
Betty? Okay, Betty.
Anyway, Fox, I had a good day, brother. As far as things, oh my Lord!
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
How was yours?
The sun came out. I went for a walk with the dogs. It was raining all day, and then the sun came out, and I went for a walk with the dogs, and we went and shot for dirt at the Home Depot, and that was nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know how my day was?
You said it was good, right?
Well, it was great. They killed my mouse and my keyboard, but I figured it out.
Figured what out?
They're bad, and I like all people like you.
Right on. Well, that's cool. I'm trying to do the right thing by everybody.
I had a big bong hit in front of me. It's illegal here.
What's illegal?
We're not allowed to smoke pot in my state.
I hate it when that happens.
I know, but your state's legal, right?
Yeah, it's legal, except for they won't let you grow it here. That's not right. It's not legal if you can't grow it.
You can't grow it.
Not unless you're a medical patient. Not unless you got a recommendation from a doctor. That's the only way you're allowed to grow in Washington State.
Yeah, but you got a card, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a 17-year-old. I'm a 17-year medical patient, card carrying medical patient.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Well, I want everyone to be able to grow. You know, I don't want you to have to go and jump through hoops and qualify to be able to grow the herb that you need.
I agree.
So,
anyway, I'd like to talk about that chunk.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you think about him?
About who?
Trump.
Trump? I don't like Trump. He's, you know, I want to. There's this part of me inside that wants to like him, but it just makes me want to vomit. You know, I mean, he's, you know, I think he's not getting a fair deal. I think that, you know, George W. Bush deserved to be impeached 1,000 times more than Donald Trump. And, but I
agree.
Yeah, I don't like Trump, and I really hope he doesn't get reelected because I think that the people sent a message with Trump. The message was sent, and now we really need a statesman, and I just don't feel like he's a statesman in any way, shape, or form.
I know he don't represent us, does he?
No, he certainly doesn't represent. I mean, you know, he gets up there and he just, oh, we love our police, don't we love our police? You know, and I'm thinking, you know, we want to love our police. We want to have police that are lovable, but they're walking around like the biggest bullies on the block who can't wait to blow your head off. No, we're scared as fuck of our police. That's what we are. We're scared as fuck of. Is that what we need to say? No, we love our police. Don't shoot. We love you. We love you. Fuck you, Trump.
Hey, old Box, I understand what you're saying. I mean, listen, back then they used to wound your ass before they fucking killed you.
You know, they hit you with some sticks or something back then, you know? I mean, now they can't.
Take your ass to jail.
Yeah. Now they can't wait to get, you know, now they got to shoot. They just shoot everybody, man. And, they can't wait, you know. I mean, it's like they pull their guns out first thing, and once that gun is out, you know what I mean. Somebody's gonna get hurt. It's like if I pulled a gun out and I pointed out somebody, they are 1 second from death. Okay, that is the only reason that I would ever point a gun at somebody, because you are about to die. These guys, they're going to investigate a door open at a house in Fort Worth. You know, and they're going to do a welfare check on a door that's open and a front door that's open, and they got their fucking guns out, and they're walking around the fucking building like, you know, like, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, you know. And the first person they see, they fucking shoot and kill in 2 seconds.
I know, Mark. I know, but
we love our police.
What about all these fucking idiots that run to the city?
What do you mean?
And try to protest. Don't they know they're already surrounded?
I don't know what you mean.
It's like they'll go and protest, and remember, the evil can come inside the protest. You know, it might be in good favor, but it won't. There's always idiots in there making them all look bad.
Yeah, no, I know there's but you can't, you know, you can't, I mean, you have to support the protesters. That's the way I feel about it, because they're out there putting their life on the line in a police state, you know, trying to get something better for somebody, for all of us, really, is the way they see it in their minds.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. And I'm afraid so many people just don't support the protesters because, I don't know, because they had to wait, and, you know, it took them an extra fucking 10 minutes to get out of the city because there's people protesting downtown, you know? Fuck. You know what I mean?
Do you know there's patriots that show up to make sure the cops don't kill them?
Yeah, I know there are. Yeah, I know there are.
I like that.
I do too. I like anybody who's ready to take on the cops. You know, and that's the thing about these, you know, the anarchist guys, you know. I mean, they're not They're not easy to talk to. They're not the kind of people you probably want to hang out with, but they don't hesitate to take on the cops. And that's you know, that in a police state, that takes some guts.
You're right. Max, you have a good night, brother. I still love you.
All right, it's good to hear from you. Thanks so much for calling.
You can hear me send that man a pizza or many pizzas.
I like pizza.
Been here for a while.
I like pizza. Stay cool, man. Hello, caller.
I cannot believe that somebody answered the phone. I've never done this before in my life.
Never done what now?
Called it a place.
Are you a female?
Yep.
You know, I don't trust females when they say I've never done this before in my life.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm the bitch of 8 brothers, the meanest bitch you ever going to meet.
Okay.
But think about this. I have got so much and fed up with being tracked by Google Plus because they know what I got on them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 8 years or 10 years I've tracked because there was those things going on. Hey, if you know what's going on in Google Plus.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got proof of all the 8 years of snapshots, probably about 5,000. 8 years, I've got.
Well, hey. Tell everybody else what's going on with Google Plus, so we all know.
Okay, I got the proof. And I can send the snapshots out of terrorists, of kids getting raped, of all countries selling guns. I've got proof. And now they're tracking me on Facebook. They're following me on Facebook, but I don't give a fuck. I ain't scared of nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't do any good to be scared.
Hey, I've got 17 profiles off of Google Plus. Still got them. And on Facebook, and they can't get rid of me. They can't track me.
Well, they're pretty good at tracking people.
Well, let me tell you, there's a secret. I don't want it because I don't know if everybody's listening on your phone.
I don't have.
Now they can't.
Oh, everybody's listening. Everybody's listening on my phone.
Okay, well here we go. Okay, I got about 4 machines. I mean, I'm literally a fuck. Okay, I use cell phones. I don't put no minutes on them, no SIM cards, but I just use them for Facebook and all that shit.
Wireless.
I snapshot, fill them up, put them away, take the battery out. I've got 8 years of them. I've got 8 years. I've got 200 notebooks of every profile. I can go to them right now. Some of them already got me on Facebook. They'll change them. They cannot get away from me. I've got too many things I've locked onto because they come at me like fucking animals 8 years ago. Because they know what I got. They know what I've done. They took my profiles. I've got snapshots of it. And my pictures on like Japan and all these other countries. I mean, no one would believe what I'm saying. I have got snapshots of secrets that I should not have. I got to places where I should not have. Because look, I know this sounds going to sound crazy. In 2012, everybody thought the world's coming to an end.
Yeah.
I think what happened, all the technology was changing, and somehow I got locked onto it. Because, I mean, you wouldn't, I'm telling you, 8 years of any snapshot. I've got pedophiles. I've got kids getting raped. I've got, how I'll tell you little scams. You know those little games? That's how they talk, just like the terrorists. That's how they track people. You know, kids. There was codes. I mean, in my memory, don't forget. There's codes on the little games with the little characters on Google Plus.
Huh?
You know, there were certain codes that they was using to pedophile kids.
Huh?
You know, like a hamburger, a hot dog.
Huh?
That's how good my memory is, but I've got it all wrote down too.
Pizza.
Plus,
Pizzagate.
Yeah, no, what? I got all that shit. I got all that Pizzagate. Pedophile. I got anything about what's his name? Hillary Clinton's man with the glasses.
Epstein?
No. He worked for. He was in something to do with worked in the White House.
Huh.
Anyway, I mean anything. Let me tell you something. And when I say I can back my ass up, I mean that's how bad I have tracked him. It has ruined my life for 8 years. I have got probably 200 notebooks. I'm doing it right now, and that's why I found this here. I said, oh, heck, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. Cool.
I have got videos knows that it's locked. It's private. No one has ever seen, because you know why? I've got 17 or 20 different names and profiles. You know, see me? I wrote down every password, everything. I can get back into all. That's why none of them can get away from me, to understand, because they're locked on all them profiles. I still got the passwords, and I get in there. Then they come over to my main one.
Huh.
You would not, I mean, I'm telling you, you would not believe what I have got, what I've seen, and what I would do too. I would go to their communities. Now, this is Google Plus. That's how fucking dirty they was. I would go to communities. I copied, snapshot every name. I'd go down to the comments, watch these fucking terrorists, or even Americans, how they talked about these things, what this going to do. I tried to tell them things was going to be going on. They would not, you know. So nobody ever talked to me or answered. I was the hell with it. But I kept tracking. I even had people over in Turkey, all them countries on them terrorists. I mean, I got things where, this is how bad it was on Google Plus. There was terrorists that was dead. I didn't know this because I don't know any country. Hey, I'm from America.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what none of the countries are nothing over there. Well, I didn't have nobody to talk to. I would talk. Well, these people was coming to, how they talk to you on there and said, what are you doing talking to a dead terrorist? I mean, somebody's using that profile of a dead terrorist talking to me. Then I had that. There's somebody, I don't know who it is, and he's in my mind for 8 years. I'm still tracking him now, Mert Adams. But now what's funny, he's on my Facebook with acting like different profiles, and I've got snapshots of him for 8 fucking years.
Sounds like you're doing your job.
Hey, I'm telling you what that's what I know. You know, they're on, because let me tell you something. I can hit my thing and I can hit it again and like drops. Like they're on my profile.
I hate the Google, man. They're evil for sure.
This is Google Plus.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm telling you, that's all I stayed on to. I mean, the priestess, you go back 8 years ago, the priestess like it was out the fucking whore thing.
The what now?
I mean, I've got snapshots, profile, everything, where they was on Google Plus, women, even men that people should know about. You know, hooking up with Asian whores this year and that there, all the whorehouses. I mean, 8 years ago, that's what I said. I call it, because I don't know how to explain it, the best word to say, to me, Google Plus was hell. I got their sins.
Good.
And somebody knows it, because I'm telling you, I've got even numbers from 8 years ago. They would call my home.
Huh.
Okay? I'd call the number back. It would be a motel in Mexico.
Wow.
I mean, that's how deep I've got.
Well, it's a good thing you're a strong woman then. I mean, at least you're able to take it.
8 brothers.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, all the ones, they call me a witch, a gin, all this shit. But I'm telling you, they know I've got something, because why? For 8 years, I got names right here, reach it, the same names 8 years ago that was on Google Plus, that I caught things, I snapshot and sell weapons, even America selling weapons to people. I mean, Muhammad.
Sure.
I mean, stuff you wouldn't believe. And it was weird, just to happen to think, 8 years ago, these same men, this Mert Adams, I can't say that because I can't speak their language. All these, and now they have followed me for 8 years. They know whoever it is. I mean, it might be Google, something, you know what I'm saying? But I know it was a Mert Adams, because this was 8 years ago. He couldn't have kept the same thing. Now they're on my Facebook, the same ones. And like I told him, I said, let me tell you something. I'm the smartest bitch you ever want to meet. And I said, I ain't scared of shit. I said, and I sent him the pictures, because I keep the snapshots who the real Mert Adams was.
Right.
They say they're rebels for Turkey or Iraq or this or that there. I'm no dummy. The one said to me, I mean, these are the ones that was Google Plus 8 years ago, but their profiles, they can't change them on me, but they do, but I can figure out who it is. Because me, before I talk to somebody, I track down last time they wiped their ass. Who they talk to, who their friends are, snapshot them. Then when I'm bored, I go to all their friends.
Yeah.
I'm going to them.
That's what.
One says, where are you at? I told him, Indiana. I don't give a fuck. He said, that's very dangerous. Tell him that. I said, fuck you. I mean, that's what I told you, when they call me witch. If you watch me on Facebook, I'm fighting with them, because I've got on these links right now that these people are worshiping Saddam Hussein, whatever the fuck his name was.
Uh-huh.
I mean, worshiping. So what I do, they don't realize they think I'm with them. They don't realize I'm tracking them.
Good job.
And it is, they're trying to, about Allah and, like I said, I got a creator. They can have whatever they want. About the Koreans, I don't even read my own Bible. I said, because I know my creator, God's my soul. And then we get into it. But like I said, let me tell you, I'm somebody who ain't scared of nobody. I don't give a fuck. If you want my thing on Facebook, watch me. So go look who's on there.
Good. We're glad you called.
I got them even, they don't realize it. I've got them where they're talking about who they're killing. I mean, the real ones, not the fake ones, of them killing. I got pictures of trucks in the back full of dead bodies.
Yeah, sad.
I mean, and here, one time, I just put a picture of it was a fake picture of that woman Trump fucked, showed her tits. Facebook kicked me off.
Yeah, I hate the Facebook too.
Well, see, I just said I locked on this thing. It's China. They're going something about Facebook. The secret code. I'll tell you, anybody what it is, look it up. It's called white paper. Okay, they're going to start a Google, Facebook over there with those, those coins. I don't know what the coins, what do they call them?
Bitcoins.
Yeah, and right. Let's see. I just want. Let's see. Here's like this one here I just got into it with. Mohammed, John, I can't say their damn names. I mean, all this shit. And here's another one. It's called, it's BASIC, VIP, and all that shit as well. Let me tell you something, show you something. I can get anywhere. I'm just telling you. I know how.
Good. That's important.
There's one. It's Akbar. There's a code for this China thing. There's white paper, which U.S. is involved with it. That's a code that you put in the HTTPS / white paper.
Okay.
It's Libya.
Libya's a mess, man. Libya's a fucking mess. That's for sure.
You know what? I am so. Let me tell you what I did the other night.
What's your name?
Because I'm so fed up with it. I hooked on.
What is your name?
Michaela.
Hey, Michaela. We got another caller trying to get through, so I'm gonna have to let you go. But I'm glad you called.
But hey, I left them. My name is on your thing.
Okay.
If you want to go friend me on Facebook, you watch what's going on.
Okay.
That's on Facebook.
Okay. Thanks a bunch, Michaela.
All right. Bye.
All right. It's good, and and that's what I keep saying is that you guys are the flavor of Mox News. I mean, it's you guys have so much stuff that you want to share, and to that caller that was calling in while Michaela was on the line, call back. But you guys really, I mean, you guys, that's like with Michelle, and she had so much that she wanted to get out, and that's what Mox News has always been about, is your opinions, your voice being heard, and that's why I'm doing this show now, because what I see is that YouTube is just censoring everything. YouTube doesn't want us communicating, and this is why I'm so angry at YouTube and Google, is because it's meant, the platform is meant for us to come together. This is the platform. It's meant for us to come together. It's meant for us to talk, like the first thing that Google did was they stopped allowing people to submit video responses to videos. And that was just wrong. I just don't understand. It's a video serving, platform. That's what the whole thing is about. Why on earth would you do that? And it's because they don't want us communicating. They don't want us talking. They certainly don't want it doing it like this, where we're actually, there isn't some kind of like an animosity, a chip. Like when the callers call here, almost no one calls and is directing anger towards me. We had the guy yesterday, but I mean, that was his chip on his shoulder. He was like, "Why are you just complaining?" And I can think, what is it that you're doing right now? I mean, I'm not out here complaining. I'm just saying we deserve better, and that it would be so easy to make YouTube 1,000 times better, but they don't want, just by allowing us to communicate more, What else did they do? Besides taking away the video responses, they've just recently taken away the ability to private message people, to send a person a private message and say, hey, I saw this and I thought you'd be interested and I want to talk to you about it if you have a minute. No, you can't do that. Why? Because too much information is being shared, and that's dangerous. So we have to sidestep the Google, we have to sidestep the YouTube, and come up with something like this, you know, um, uh, because it's the only way that we're going to be able to, to make happen what we need to make happen. Just this platform isn't going to do it. We're going to have to, be creative and bring it all together, because they're going to try, and they're trying to stop us at every turn. It's like I've been doing these live shows now for like 3 weeks almost, right? Every day, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m., same Mox time, same Mox channel, and everyone is like no, it gives you like stats at the end of it, right? It says you had this many viewers and your video ran this long, and you got this many new subscribers, right? And every single time it says 0 new subscribers. Okay. And all that says is that YouTube is not allowing me to spread my word, communicate with other people. And for whatever reason, YouTube thinks that that's okay. YouTube needs to have the shit suit out of them. Okay. I mean, giant fucking class action lawsuit, all the biggest YouTube fucking players saying, yep, I got fucked by Google. I got fucked by Google. And somebody should do something about it. Okay. Because somebody should. And that means a lawyer. Hello, McFly, you out there? Or is all you care about a big fat retainer check? Because I know it's going to cost money to sue Google, but should be a pretty good lawsuit. There's lots of people who would love to be part of it, I'm pretty sure. So I am, let's see, we are working on 37 minutes. And so, and it's a call-in show, and I kicked Michelle off for another caller. Okay. So, it wasn't Michelle. Who was that? It was, what was her name? Dang it. Wasn't Michelle. What was it? It was, I hate it when that happens. I'm usually better at it than that. So anybody got any big plans for the weekend? I am going to the Home Depot. I'm going to buy dirt, I guess. I don't know. The Home Depot is close. It's easy to get to. That dirt looks okay. And that's Michaela. That's right. How could I forget? Michaela. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, Michaela. Sorry, Michelle. So hopefully that will happen. I mean, hopefully all this will come together. Hopefully we'll be able to build a bigger audience, and more people will enjoy it, and more people want to participate by calling in. And I got a table moved into the new green screen room. So, and we're getting my roommate setting up a computer for me, a nice computer. I guess it's going to be a whole new show here in a couple days. So, and there's a lot of research going on and a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So, and I have the flower rosin press that I need to show you guys. I have not unboxed it yet. But I want to do it in the new room and, put it on the table and cut everything up and make it right the first time, because you're not going to want to unbox it a second time, It doesn't work that way. So we will be having that any day now. Because and this is happening because I do believe in this format. I know this is a good idea. I know we can make something cool happen here. But That's only if it is we. That's only if you guys are participating too. It's only if you guys are helping, you guys are encouraging, you guys are showing up. Because without you guys, it's meaningless. You know, I've said this again and again. I could come out here. If it was just about me, I wouldn't need to do it live. You know, I could, especially since I don't get any new subscribers that way. But if it was about me, I wouldn't need to do this. Because you know, I don't need things to be about me. But if we can make it about all of us, you know, then you know, if it was about me, then I can just come out here and turn on the camera and record and make a fucking video and then edit it the way I want and then upload it, you know, like, you know, my monologues, because it's not so much about me, but it's about what I have to say about this subject, you know, because this is what I'm thinking and it seems important. And I thought some of you might like to hear it. But you know, this is about all of us. This is about you and I connecting in this moment, right? Because this moment is really all there is. And that's why I think it's really important that we share it, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring everyone into this moment. If we can bring everyone into this moment right now, then we can make happen what we need to. But that's a heavy task. So I'm glad you all came to help, because it's going to take a lot of people. And it's nice to see people here, you know. And it's nice when you call. It's so much nicer when you call. Hello, caller.
Hello. How you doing?
I am doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I just wanted to call you and let you know that I really appreciate the programming that you put out on your channel, and it's really informative. And it's a lot of things that people need to watch, because we don't have access to the information that you put out readily.
Well, I try and do. I'm just trying to do the right thing. You know, I'm not trying to you know, pander to this audience or pander to that audience. You know, I'm just trying to do. Show people what happened today. I see these historic events that happen. You know, I'm just trying to make sure that people are, you know, getting that. That's all. So,
I agree 100% with the stuff that you put out. It's it's non-biased, and you're right. It is historical events that's occurring.
And it affects.
I appreciate it.
Right on. Thanks so much. It affects all of us. You know, what is your name?
Jason.
Jason, are you angry at the YouTube at all, Jason?
Yeah, I would have to say yes. I would have to say yes. They're very selective on what they want people to see.
I think it's just wrong to try and steer people's attention, you know, a direction too. You know, it's like, because it's as if they're trying to manipulate what it is that we think, and I don't like that at all.
It's very much so happening that way, and it's because the corporate media is losing control of the narrative. Or actually have lost control of the narrative, and now we're happening to they're trying to catch up, I guess is what you'd call it.
Absolutely. I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. And that's the reason that they don't want us communicating. That's the reason they restrict it more and more and are censoring more and more comments, because that's how we take control of the narrative. It's like you're saying, they don't have the control of it anymore. We're discussing amongst ourselves, and they need to stop that. And that's why YouTube was such a beautiful thing in the beginning, was because we were all, you know, oh, I'm going to respond to this right now, you know, and now it's like, it's just a fucked up thing, dude. It's so sad.
Yeah, it's most unfortunate the way it's gone. There's other platforms out there though. They have BitChute, and there's a couple others, but they're not as big, nowhere near as big as YouTube. Eventually, maybe they'll get there, but at the moment, it's kind of straws on the camel.
Do you use the BitChute?
Yes, I do.
Oh, so you like that format then?
Yeah, I do. It has some growing to do. You know, there's a problem with next video
recommended or whatnot. But there's a little issue there. Other than that, though, I like the platform. They just don't have all the people that I'd like to watch on that platform yet.
I have.
I wouldn't even.
I have a BitChute page. I just put it into the chat room there, and it is at the beginning of this video, I was talking about how during yesterday's show, I edited and uploaded a Tulsi Gabbard interview with Sean Hannity, and that Fox News blocked that earlier today. They blocked it worldwide, and I just went to look at my BitChute page, and that interview with Tulsi Gabbard is up on the BitChute page. So if anybody wants to see it, I just put up a link to Mox News BitChute page, where you will find the Tulsi Gabbard video that was censored on YouTube today by Fox News and Google. So you know.
And that's your name over there is Mox News also?
That's correct.
Perfect. I'll check you out. I'll subscribe.
Nice. What's your name?
Jason.
Jason?
Jason H, yeah?
Hey, it's good to hear from you, Jason. Where are you calling from?
Arkansas.
Arkansas? You like it there?
Yes, sir. Not so much.
What? They don't have the legal marijuana, right?
No, they don't. That's most unfortunate.
And is that one of the states where they like try and outlaw genital stimulation devices and stuff like that?
Oh, I don't know. Could be, very well could be. There's a lot of
I know they do it.
laws here.
I know they do it in Arkansas or Alabama and places like that. And just always, you know, I mean, the government needs to stay out of people's lives, man.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know I'm a single father of 3 daughters, and we've been here for 4 years. As soon as college starts, we're going to move back to Iowa, and I'm going to put them through college in Iowa. But,
right.
You know, I don't really care for it here too much. I've lived in many states, and this is one of the least liked states so far for me.
That's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, it's all right. It is what it is.
Yeah, I know. Got to deal with what you got to deal with.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, I'm going to get off this phone. You have a good day, and I appreciate all the information.
Hey, man, thanks so much for the call. I appreciate it, too. You helped me get some other information out. Like you made me look at my BitChute account, where I found the Tulsi Gabbard video that was censored by YouTube and Fox News, and I was glad to see that, because that means that my work wasn't wasted entirely. And it wasn't wasted entirely because like 1,000 people saw that video, maybe a little bit more, before YouTube and Fox News shut it down. And now it's up on the BitChute, which is freaking awesome. Again, I'm going to post that BitChute page right here in case anybody else would like to check it out. It automatically grabs my videos off of YouTube and puts them on the BitChute page. So, and I love that. So it doesn't get them all, but it gets a lot of them, and I think it gets most of them, and so it's cool, you know. It's nice to have the backup. I really like having the backup, and it's not that it's just posting a link to the YouTube video. It's actually grabbing the video off of YouTube and then uploading it to the BitChute page. So even if it gets dropped off of YouTube, it's still up there on the BitChute, which is pretty cool. It takes a little while though, so if it gets blocked right away, they don't usually get those. Jackie Cat. Yeah, everybody loved Jackie Cat. You know it's true. She did have a pretty sweet voice. I was thinking the same thing. Thinking, boy, I could listen to you for hours, Jackie Cat. Okay, but I digress. Okay, let's see. So 48 minutes. What are we talking about? I thought that was a pretty good call. I'm really glad that Jason called, because I was glad. It really made me see that Tulsi Gabbard video up there, and it irks me so bad when I see the videos blocked, you know, because 5 years ago, when you get one of those worldwide blocks, that would have meant you got a copyright strike. which means this Mox News YouTube page with 10,000 videos right here wouldn't be here right now because of CNN's fucking copyright blocks of the debate and Fox News regular copyright blocks. It just, ugh. It is so frustrating and illegal and just not smart. I mean, you know, I don't want to say all I'm doing is promoting their work because I'm doing something a whole lot more than that. But I am also, you know, there will be people who will find their work on my page and go, oh, you know what? I like this interviewer. I would like to know more about this interviewer, especially if YouTube were not manipulating everybody's, you know, viewing cycles and telling them what they're supposed to watch. There'd be so many more people that would be finding things like CNN and Fox News. Not that that's a good thing, but they would find it, and then when they'd probably go over to CNN, and then they go, you know, I don't like CNN, but I like this guy. That's because you don't have all the commercials, you don't have all the garbage, you don't have one one idiotic story after another idiotic story after another idiotic prostitute telling you some bullshit you know is complete bullshit after another after another after another. It's a very limited and selected, and that way, because if you have this bombarding your brain constantly, I think it's very unhealthy. In fact, I know that the 24-hour mainstream media news cycle is extremely unhealthy to people and their psyches, and that it should be taken in very small doses. And I think that's why Mox News is so good. You know, right now where I'm not I'm not like pinging your phone every fucking 5 times an hour, you know, with some other bullshit. I'm pulling little select things out, and we're keeping moving forward, even though the YouTube is being a horrible, horrible platform, and every step is a struggle. We're still moving forward. We're still here. They haven't been able to get rid of me. They've tried and tried and tried. Those of you who've been around know this. I'm not an easy guy to get rid of. And it's just because they want to get rid of me. I'm not that hard to get rid of, you know. But if you, if you're like trying to say, you know, yeah, we'd prefer, yeah, fuck you. I don't give a fuck what you prefer. Okay, I'm trying to make something happen here that's bigger than what you prefer. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hello.
No one is trying to get rid of you.
No one.
No one care about you.
You need to talk a little. Can you just talk a little? Talk a little slower, okay? Talk a little.
No one care about you. You were making fun of my accent last time. Why you were making fun of my accent?
I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
No.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Let's say that I did. I apologize. Do you accept my apology?
You see? Thank you so much. And I'll stop calling though. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All
right. So you have something that you want to say, because I'm not trying to chase you away.
Well, I had something that I was gonna say. Then you broke my heart. You were making fun of my ex.
I didn't mean to do that. I don't recall doing that. I apologize.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're a nice guy, though. I now I like you.
Okay.
You have a good night, buddy.
Okay, you too.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to label anybody. I'm not trying to tear anybody down. I'm trying to do the right thing by all of us, and I want everybody included. Okay, and because everybody needs to be included, because what we have to make happen is incredibly important. And the more people that are involved, the more we'll be able to make happen. It's that simple. And I'm not like even that guy, I mean, he was so angry when he got on the phone. And then, I just like, can you just talk slower, because I want to understand. I get it, that, a lot of people are upset. It's like, like Michaela, she had some stuff she was trying to get out. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. I don't know. But so as I was saying, I'm not trying to direct this. I'm just trying to say, we're all coming together, and that's the idea here. A regular meeting place, a little water cooler where we can all come together and have a nice dab, and maybe share a moment, right? I think this is a good plan. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Max, how are you doing?
I am doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Mike. This is Chris from Olympia.
Hey, Chris, it's good to hear from you, man.
Thank you. I've been listening to your program, and there were a couple of news stories that I didn't see in the Mox newsfeed.
Okay.
And I just wanted to know for other people who are watching the program. And one of them is the story that's emerging from England, where 39 people were found in a refrigerated cargo unit.
Yeah. That's such a sad story, man.
Isn't that wild?
No, it's horrible.
It's absolutely horrible, but I mean, it is kind of macabre, right? It's like Halloween.
I mean, I just saw pictures of one of the women that was in there from fucking China, and some of her text that she was sending to her mom before she died. She said
she was in Vietnam.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And if you want to go to the article, it's called "Vietnamese Family Fears Daughter May Be Among Essex Lorry Victims."
Yeah.
And that's at the Guardian. So you can go to the Guardian, and she was from Vietnam, and she was like 24 years old, man.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. And her family mortgaged her house for like £30,000 to send her, across the world, across a continent, to go and work in England as a worker.
And you think 30,000 fucking pounds would buy you safe fucking passage halfway around the world,
Well, I mean, like, it is kind of like a weird science fiction kind of story, right? Like 4 lions and 4 dudes who are terrorists in England and then screw up. But it is almost like the human trafficker screwed up. And you could almost like do a Quentin Tarantino kind of like movie about it, right? Or profiteers who are selling human labor across the continent, for £30,000 a head, paying off everybody at every single stop all the way along the way until they freeze to death in a shipping container going between Belgium and England, right? For real.
So sad.
But it's capitalism, right? From one of the articles that I read,
I think it's more than capitalism. I mean, unless the police state is an integral part of capitalism, which clearly it is. Because I mean, it's the police state thing that's keeping someone like that from making her dreams happen or whatever. So
it's a weird intersection, isn't it, between organized crime and between the state? Because this woman lived in a small town outside of a large city in Vietnam, and her family was able to pay money to people in Vietnam who transported her 7,000 miles away or something to her faith. So it is very organized, and it is an integral part of. So the reason why it's a part of capitalism, I think, Mike, is because from what I read in the Daily Mail, which is an English newspaper, it was a specialist, like a professor of Chinese immigration from a university in England. And what he said was the reason why people migrate from China to England is because a lot of Chinese people are getting visas to be students and to be business people in England, right? In Britain.
Yeah.
And therefore, the idea of being a Chinese person living in Britain is exaggerated in the mind of people who live in Southeast Asia, China, Vietnam. So these people, even though they can't get a student visa, and even though they can't get, an internship at a business because of grades and because of social status, they're willing to have their family mortgage their house so that they can come up with the money to go to England and make it, which is almost like the fucking American dream. If you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Every girl who went to Los Angeles to become a movie star, every dude who went to like New York to become like a big financial, big person. It's like, part of the whole ethos of capitalism. So that's the reason why I said like it's like integrated into capitalism. It's like these people are literally having their parents mortgage their homes so that they can die in a refrigerated like container, crossing the English Channel. Isn't that fucked up?
It's so sad, dude. That story's just so sad.
But they got the idea, right, that everything is cool in London from the television and the radio and the computer.
Well, exactly. That's the same
media.
thing. That's like you said, the people who get in their mind that they're going to go to Los Angeles and become an actor, or the people who are going to go
It's
to.
just on a bigger scale, isn't it? Right? It's just on like a grander scale.
It's the television, the movies, all the media is programming. It's never ending. This is what you should be. Can't be a man because he doesn't smoke the same cigarettes as me.
Yeah. Mick Jagger was right, dude. He was like, or they were right, like the Stones were right. That's right on point. Like that note there. Yes.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying about advertising. I was saying this yesterday at last night's show. The advertising, I said, if I was president, was that last night's show? If I was president, I would fucking make it illegal for advertising. We don't need advertising. Advertising adds nothing to our lives. It needs to be
the value of our life at all.
Advertising is just a mind fuck that mind fucks the hell out of your children. Anybody who's coming up on Christmas now knows they see the fucking advertisements that their little kids are seeing, and it's just being slammed at them. And you know what? It's not their fault that they go out of control for these fucking things that they gotta have or they're gonna die, because they're sitting there and they're watching SpongeBob or whatever, and they're going, oh, and they just like get lost in it. And then it like opens their mind. It lets down all their guards. And then all of a sudden there's like, you got to have this product or your life is meaningless.
Yeah, it's fucked up, right? Like the whole idea that you have to be something to be something instead of just being yourself, man. And that, or gal, that's the most important thing, right? It's just being yourself, not being like trying to conform to some other ideal of what you're supposed to be. But I want to just read this for a second, and I'll read it quick, and I can. But I want people to understand that this woman who died from Vietnam, what she actually fucking said, because it wasn't. I didn't see it on your video.
I'm gonna post. I have a good clip. I'm gonna post it in a little bit.
Cool, but it's just. I'll just consolidate it. She said, real briefly, she said, the message that was translated into English by a family acquaintance was received at 4:30 in the morning in Vietnam. A screenshot shows this would have been 10:30 in England when the trailer carrying the victims would have been in transit. This is when she was in transit. She sends this text, right? And just 4 hours before the ambulance was called and the bodies were discovered. In messages from an account nicknamed Daughter, Pham, the woman's name, Pham, she wrote, I'm sorry, Mom. She said this. I'm sorry, Mom. My journey abroad has not succeeded. Mom, I love you so much. I'm dying because I can't breathe. I'm from Nguyen Can Loc, Hoc Tin, Vietnam. I am so sorry, Mom. That's the last thing she said to her mom before she died.
Yeah.
Suffocated to death in a container ship crossing the English Channel.
Like I said,
I mean,
it's so sad.
That's what fucking capitalism is about. What this global economy that moves people and jobs and factories and tells people that they have to go halfway across the world, in order to like have some prestige for their family. It's utterly fucking insane.
I mean, it makes sense that someone wants a better life. That's not insane, but the outcome is just bullshit. It's not insane. It's fucking bullshit. It's horrible. And this is what the police state gets us. Okay. And it's going to happen again and again. And it has happened again and again. This isn't something new.
Well, no, it isn't something new, but if you say like this is what the police state gets us, right? One could counter and say, well, this is what organized crime gets us, right? Whenever the police state like has its like rules and its codes that everybody has to follow, there's always like subordinate people or people who don't follow the rules, right? Who have like they create their own rules, and that's what like the mafia is. That's right. What like Chinese human traffickers are.
It's not that they create their own rules. It's that the law that blocks the freedom of the people creates a black market for that freedom.
Well, that's interesting, right? Because let's talk about this, right? Because England or whatever, Great Britain, Britain does have like immigration policy. And I looked at some statistics, and there aren't very many Chinese people, or that just initially it was thought they were Chinese, but I looked up Vietnamese as well. There's like less than 400,000 Chinese people who live in England, and there's fewer than 100,000 Vietnamese people who live in Great Britain, which is less than 1% out of all of the people, out of 65 million people.
I wonder what percentage of them. I wonder what percentage of them owns restaurants.
Well, that's an interesting question, right?
Yeah.
Because I looked at this other article, these other points that this article from the Daily Mail, this English newspaper, talked about, was talking about Chinese migration, and they said, the biggest like crimes where people had died for death tolls in the last 20 years in England. One was like, an American singer in Manchester, 25 people or something were blown up there. And then the other one was like 7/7, which was like 55 or 60 people died.
Yeah.
Their 9/11. That was the subway attack.
Yeah.
That was their 9/11. So their 9/11, only 50 people killed, right? And then I read these numbers and I'm like, holy shit. They said that the amount of people who died in this Essex lorry, suffocation in this container was like more people than had died in any mass murder in England in the last 15 years.
Well,
think about that.
It's really sad, dude. I don't want to think about it. It's really sad.
That's the natural, right? What happened in Las Vegas? That's like how many people died in like 15 minutes or an hour.
I think it was really fast. I don't know. I forget. It's a 50 some. Yeah, 50 some.
Over 50. That's right. So 40 people died suffocating, and it's a big issue probably in the consciousness of the people who live in Britain, especially considering, the issues concerning immigration right now in Britain.
Manchester was a false flag too. Was that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with. I'm not going to dismiss that argument offhand, but
I mean,
I'm
they let
familiar
that
with
guy. They let that guy in a fucking venue with a bomb in his backpack. Supposedly, there's no way that's what happened at Manchester. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. So you know.
Well, I mean,
I'm not talking. I'm sorry. I'm not
talking.
talking to you, Chris. I'm talking to Mitchell. So, but go ahead. Go ahead, Chris. I'm just.
Hey, I wasn't looking at the chat. Sorry, but I mean, I'm not dismissing that, Mox. Like, you know, alternative narratives or hypotheticals, but like if you just ascribe or follow the official narrative.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like with 9/11, there are so many different narratives and hypotheticals. Like you have a half a dozen different stories. So if you mention that, like a false flag like that, right?
Yeah.
There's like a half a dozen different hypotheticals describing what that fucking means. So it's kind of an ambiguous thing to say. That's all I'm saying, right? Like I don't know what the scandal. You told me though, right? A backpack, somebody into arena with a backpack.
Manchester. You brought up Manchester. You said that, yeah. So, and that was it was horrible. That was this whole fucking, oh, the children, we have to protect the children. You know, I mean, it's such bullshit. It's what's that girl's name? There was a concert. What concert was that?
American. She was an American.
Yeah.
I can find it right.
Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande. So, and that was just
this was the quote. This was the quote from that newspaper. It says this: today's incident is talking about the people in Essex. It says today's incident is thought to be the biggest case of mass murder in Britain in 14 years since the terror in quotes, attacks on the London Transport Network in 7/7/2005, which left 56 dead, including the 4 suicide bombers. The death toll is also higher than that of tragedies such as the Manchester Arena bombing in May 2017, which left 23 people dead, including the attacker Salman Abedi. And then finally, the total is also well above that of the Dunblane school massacre near Stirling in Scotland in March '96, in which 18 people died, including the shooter Thomas Hamilton. So I think 39 people were found in this truck.
Yeah.
And the reason why I mentioned that is just to try to explain it. Like, you know, 66 million people is a country that's 1/6 the size of the United States, or 1/5 the size of the United States, right around there, right?
Yeah.
So a casualty number of that nature in a country where there is a much lower homicide rate and where there's not necessarily a lot of mass victims of crime to such a degree that we experience on almost a weekly basis for whatever reason, is going to have a larger impact in the public consciousness.
There's a lot of crime there. I mean, they have a lot of violent crime in England and London.
But I mean, even if you live in a rough neighborhood, right? You walk down the street and you find 40 people dead in a container. That's kind of shocking.
Well, no, that's always going to be shocking. I mean, it's such a horrible story, dude. It's so ugly.
It wasn't really expressed in the American media, Mox.
Yeah.
I didn't hear too much of it on CNN, MSNBC, or Fox News at all.
Yeah.
In other words, if 5 people had, stumbled on an Islamic terrorist cell somewhere in the middle of nowhere and they accidentally were captured, that would capture the American imagination for a couple of days.
Well,
but here we have 40 people who were poor from Southeast Asia who died because human traffickers fucked up, and they're not really receiving any attention in the Western press at all. It's an example of racism, right? American exceptionalism. If 40 people died in San Diego tomorrow, who are white, and they accidentally got stuck in an elevator and they were found dead, you don't think we'd be talking about it for a few days?
Yeah. If fucking 40 people fell off a fucking deck where they were having a wedding and somebody fucking broke their ankle, they'd be talking about it for fucking 2 days. Okay?
Exactly. And now we have people who mortgaged their parents' homes to travel halfway around the world to be indentured servants or sex slaves to the bourgeoisie in England, who are literally fucking going to be forgotten in the American mind.
Well, the thing is they were never part of it. I mean, the American mind doesn't. Look, it's not the Americans. I mean, the Americans. You can't blame Americans. It's this the news media. You know, I mean, it's like I'm saying with the YouTube manipulating what it is that you're supposed to see. You know,
Well,
they're very much controlling and manipulating what they want us to see and what they want us talking about. And clearly, you know, in America,
okay.
and plus the mainstream media, the CNN, the MSNBCs, the ones that you talked about, they seem to only be able to cover 2 or 3 stories tops throughout the entire day.
Mm-hmm. Which seems to be designed, of course.
Yeah, again.
Yes, I mean, of course. I mean, it's designed to dumb people down. But there's another point here, which is, you know, needs to be raised, and that is what percentage of people are not misinformed, right? But are aware of the things that are happening, but continue to like march through their lives because they recognize if they diverge from their path, they're going to experience a little bit of suffering, you know, economic hardship or something. You know, it's not nice to tell your boss necessarily what they should hear. So you self-censor. And if you do that on a political level over an extended period of time, that really numbs a nation. Its soul is just numbed. And that's about where we're at.
Yeah, I agree completely. I'm not really good at that, what you were talking about, where you're not allowed to tell your boss certain things. I had one of my last bosses, I worked at this little Italian restaurant, right? And the owner was, the husband was the chef, and the wife was like the hostess out front, right? And I'd come in every day and I'd be like, "Hey, Lily," you know, we call her Dragon Lady. "Lily, you know, your nails look fantastic tonight." And she'd be like, and like after about 2 weeks, she's like, "I don't like that. Stop telling me." And after that, it was every day. You know, okay. "Oh, those shoes look great on you." But that's part of my job. I was a waiter, and you know, you are meant to schmooze and make people feel good. You know, that's part of what you do. So, in a nice restaurant.
Of course.
So all I'm saying is I'm not good at that self-censoring thing where you're supposed to be act this way, or it's like I was saying, you know, when people say you can't do this, it's like you don't know me very well, do you? This is a wrong approach with me, and I think it really is. I think it really is the wrong approach with humans. Okay, is that humans don't like being told what to do. This is why the drug war will never work. This is why prohibition has never worked, because humans don't like being told what they can and can't do. Okay, you're not the boss of me. Don't act like you're the fucking boss of me. And if you do, I will prove that you are not the boss of me.
Absolutely. And that brings me to the second story, which is about Julian Assange, which I also didn't see any video posted on your page.
I haven't seen any video about Julian Assange. I keep looking for video about Julian Assange, but I haven't seen any.
We talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
But in fact, you can find our video footage from Ruptly, R-U-P-T-L-Y, which actually shows, we discussed this the other day, that actually shows him in the van leaving from the courthouse 2 days ago into the van.
Oh, okay.
So it's very brief.
Yeah.
I think the footage is probably less than 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
If you find it, but it's there.
Okay.
And then also, there also are several stories with editorial content that have been posted at RT that could be reposted that talk about this story, because it hasn't been covered at all in the American press at all.
Yeah. No, there should really be some more. There should be more discussion about, you know, because this definitely involves the United States, and you think that, but you know what, the Julian Assange just makes all of the fucking mainstream media look like shit. You know, I mean, they.
Well, he's a person who stands up and says what he wants to say without thinking, just fuck it. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not going to be worried, be damned the consequences, like you were talking about, right, Lux?
It's there's just that some people they don't have that filter, and they're just doing what they need to do. You know what I mean? And the thing about this whole media blackout is because he just makes the mainstream media look like shit. Is because he did their job 1,000 times better than they'll ever fucking do it for the American people. And they all had him on their shows, every single one of them. And then all of a sudden he's evil. All of a sudden he's fucking evildoer.
Yeah.
Just like Alex Jones, they did the same thing. They all had Alex Jones on their fucking news programs, and then all of a sudden Alex Jones is an evildoer.
So I want to just read this really quickly, and this is, people can find this. Viewers can look on a search engine and find this article that has written words that says a 1950s show trial, and it's the journalist John Pilger from Australia, who's a documentarian. I mentioned him the other day. He's a very famous videographer. But the article says John Pilger describes disgraceful courtroom treatment of Julian Assange by a British judge. And then the comment is this. It says, veteran British journalist John Pilger has blasted the, quote, atrocious and appalling treatment of Julian Assange by a judge who decided this week to reject the whistleblower's request to delay his upcoming U.S. extradition hearing. And by the way, that's in February. Quote, to say it is surreal is not enough. It is simply appalling, John Pilger, who was present in the courtroom on Monday, told RT's Going Underground. Pilger accused the district judge, Vanessa Bredesser, of using, quote, disgraceful and dictatorial gestures towards Assange, and said she was clearly biased in favor of the attorney acting on behalf of the United States government. Quote, her bias was incandescent, Pilger said, adding, I've never seen anything like this. It belonged in a show trial in the 1950s. Moscow, Prague, you name it. Assange's lawyer has been seeking to delay the extradition to the United States, scheduled to begin in February, arguing that more time was required to compile the evidence. Pilger and other advocates for Assange who have visited him at Belmarsh have repeatedly said the journalist has been denied access to the tools he needs to prepare his case, including a computer, access to documents, and is prevented from calling his American lawyer. Pilger said Assange's lawyer pointed out the extradition treaty between America and Britain has a specific section that says a person cannot be extradited if the offenses are said to be political. In Assange's case, he said, the charges are clearly political under law, explaining that they are based in the 1917 Espionage Act, which was then used to chase down conscientious objectors. And like I said, Mark, I would encourage other folks to do a little research about what happened to Julian Assange in the last week, because it is just fucked up. They grabbed this person. He's been confined for over 6 months in solitary confinement in a jail with violent criminals. And the dude is a technocrat, right? He's a computer hacker who runs a website that tells the truth. And he's being placed under these conditions.
It's the police state is just evil, man. It's just so evil, and the U.S. government is out of control evil, and we need to take it back. We need to.
Well,
go ahead.
I agree with you, but I want to say that it isn't just the government that's evil, right? Like a lot of people, was it the guy Jeremy Hammond, who was an activist who argued who accessed documents at JSTOR and exposed them to the public, all of these academic documents that helped researchers put pieces and dots together, and he was persecuted by the U.S. government. But this idea of paywalls, right, Max? If I want to do research, I can't read every article that the St. Louis Post-Dispatch or that the Miami Herald or that any newspaper in America has in their archives without paying a subscription fee to access the information. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this is this thing I'm talking about fair use, I mean, the reason that this information is being put out there, the reason that this information is being created is to educate the public, and knowledge is free, is to inform the public. But this is to be spread as wide and far as we can in order to have a as informed public as possible. And that's the big problem with the mainstream media, is that they're really not trying to inform the public. They're just trying to make money off of our fucking fear.
It's a noble goal, but in fact, like C-SPAN is sponsored by the cable industry.
Yeah.
And even though they offer public access to certain hearings and certain presentations, they are restrictive, and they're selective.
They're very selective.
Where they want to gear the eyes of America towards which congressional hearing. So, and it's also sponsored by, the cable industry, Comcast, and the people who are like paying, who we pay every month for our computer and television services.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. That's where they get their money. People somehow feel that they're a government funded organization. They're not. They are a private business, and he's right. They get a huge amount of money from Comcast and other cable providers.
So it's a corporate, it's a corporate state, basically, right? So like a lot of the functions that we have to deal with, like if you have everybody I know has to pay their goddamn insurance, whatever, their home insurance or their auto insurance, they have to pay insurance, or they have to pay fees. So at the end of the day, it's like they're either paying the state or they're paying the corporation that works in conjunction with the state that has a monopoly, like your internet provider or your television provider. So it isn't like there's a free market. I mean, I hope people in the chat listening to this will provide alternatives to viewers where they can access internet for less than $30 a month on their phone, and all their devices in their home will work, and their phone will work too. Like a George Carlin pitch, like, please post away. I'd like to see the links, because that's useful information to people who are like living on the edge in America.
I think so. I mean, I think that I don't know, man. We're just so we deserve better. That's all. We deserve better. That's all I can think right now. Hey, Chris, are you getting this rain down there?
No, man, it's not raining. It's really
we got lightning.
I mean,
we got lightning.
clear,
We got lightning and thunder and rain up here in Seattle.
Wow. I like lightning. We rarely experience lightning here, and I always appreciate it. So I'm glad that you had a chance to appreciate it.
My dog doesn't appreciate it, so I don't really care for it.
Does your dog like fireworks?
No.
What do you do with the dog on the 4th of July and on the 1st of the year?
Well, he eats cookies. He gets cookies all the time.
So you give him an extra cookie on December 31st.
Yeah, he has a big cookie and just kind of like goes to sleep, basically. Just lays down.
Well,
it's good.
I don't have any other horror stories to share with you on this Halloween weekend, besides the story of that Vietnamese woman, which I hope people check out.
And I'll post a video. I got a video here. I'll post it shortly.
Because it really is. It's really the Guardian.
It's so sad.
Video of it.
It's so sad.
It is really horrible. I mean, imagine being locked in a container in like the last 15 minutes of your life, crossing the English Channel. You send a text to your mom in Vietnam, who just mortgaged her house to get you to where you are, and you say to her, "Mom, I love you, and I'm dying right now."
Yeah, it's so sad, dude. I know. I know. I told you I have the story. It's sad. I know. It's horrible. And
I'm gonna let you go, man. It just hit me hard earlier.
Yeah,
when I saw
and
it.
the other story is just as horrific too that you brought up. The Julian Assange is equally horrific, and it's just so wrong. And we all deserve better, and especially Julian deserves better than this shit. So
yeah, he does. But I mean, even anyone who's like listening to this program has to have friends who are adventurous, right? And who will go to like any way to like weasel their way into an adventure. I mean, lots of people who have friends like that. And you always have to think, God, I hope they're okay. I hope that everything is working out for them. But to imagine that like their fate is closed because somebody took their money and just locked them to die.
Well, you know what I mean.
That's organized crime.
I'm one of these guys. Okay, if they say get in the back of a fucking truck like that, I don't think I could do it. You know what I mean? I'd be like,
I don't think
no.
So. Beat me up. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. Because you know it's gonna get locked, and that means it's like no woman's ever gonna get me in handcuffs. You know, I mean, that's not. I can't do that.
After you've already traveled like 6,000 miles, and your parents have mortgaged their home for you to make it just to get that job to send a check back to their family. So be it. And you're in that situation, you might be just going like, damn it, it doesn't look right, but I'm just going to do it because it'll work.
No, I can't do that.
I've met people like that before.
Yeah,
Have you ever met somebody like that?
No, some people will do whatever they're told. They say, get in the fucking truck, and they get in the fucking truck. Okay?
I hear you.
Okay, and that woman was desperate, and it's so sad, Chris. I get it. It's so sad. And I mean, I hate that fucking story, dude. All right, so I'm done talking about it.
I'll let you go. Let's have a good night, man.
Okay, Chris. Nice to hear from you. And I hate the fucking Julian Assange story because it should be everywhere. He does deserve better, and it's so fucking bullshit that they just want to fucking talk about a fucking lynching. Okay, Julian Assange is being lynched, and he's a fucking journalist, and not one of these fucking journalists in the Western media give a shit. Okay, not fucking two shits at all. Not two shits. They don't give one shit. You know, fucking mainstream media garbage. These people, they're the real criminals. On top of it, as I pointed out again and again, to call them fake news is wrong because they're war propagandists. And by international crime, someone who's disseminating war propaganda knowingly is a fucking war criminal. Okay, so they're not fake news, they're fucking war criminals. Unlike Julian Assange, who is fucking an actual journalist. Okay, and this is another reason to vote for Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard has said that she will. I pressed one, bitch. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard has said that she will pardon Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, okay, of all charges against her brought by the United States as president. So that's a and that's something you're never going to hear from any of the rest of those mealy-mouthed motherfuckers who say anything they can to get votes. They're never going to say something that fucking bold, okay, because they're not who they present themselves as. They're not defenders of the people. They're not defenders of freedom. They don't fight for freedom. They don't do it now, and they never will. What's up, caller?
Corporations are people, my friend.
Fuck that.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm pumped up.
Yeah, you sounded a little irritated about the tragic events, but this is probably a slow day for tragic events.
It's the tragic events never end. Life is a never-ending tragedy. It's just a matter of being able to find the humor in it because it's kind of funny too.
Yeah, that's why I said corporations are people, my friend. my refrigerator is a person, my friend.
If you say so, it's definitely spying on you. That's all I know.
No, I don't have anything smart, including myself. My whole house is filled with dumb shit.
Dumb shit.
Dumb shit. But my computer's smart, but I got tape covering up the camera, so I'm not being well. No matter how careful you are, you're always being spied on. So
They're doing their damnedest, man. It's really difficult to avoid it these days. It seems like there's no way to completely avoid it, but it's really difficult to just avoid it in just in a normal day, you know.
Yeah, well, your last caller sounded pretty intelligent.
He's a great guy.
I hate to bring up Julian Assange again, but he said something a while back about smart dust that I still haven't quite figured out. I know what smart dust is, but he never really went into any detail about it.
Is that a medical something, or what is smart dust?
Smart dust is very small geolocators, I think, that it's like
tracking.
Tracking when you chip somebody or something like that. Yeah.
Huh.
So I figured you're all over the news. You might have heard something about that, but I only heard him say it once in some email or Twitter thing right before the heat came down on him in London, and Ecuador got a $6 billion loan from the IMF to sell them out.
What a load of shit.
Yeah, and it seems like South America's falling apart pretty quickly this week. I think you got 4 countries down there that are having problems, including what's the one with Morales, Evo Morales, high up in the Andes. Which country is that?
Chile. Or Peru.
I think I don't know.
Peru. I think you're talking about Peru.
Yeah, Peru. Yeah. Well, he's having problems.
Or Colombia, maybe. But the whole place is going to shit. But that's not. Why it's going to shit? It's going to shit because of fucking of greed and the drug war. There's so much drug war, fucking violence down there that and it's allowed people to accumulate, evil people to accumulate so much fucking wealth that they can spread anything they want anywhere they want, and then the greed of the gold rush and the Amazon and all of that, they're just poisoning the entire place, and the fucking DEA's all over down there, just spreading fucking war and violence. It's just, I think it's 100% America, United States fault. The problems that South America is having, except for the gold war.
We've been trying to crush the Bolivarian Revolution for a century now, and we've been doing a pretty good job at it. I mean, you gotta hand it to those people, especially Chavez. Chavez almost pulled together the whole South American continent. And then, as far as I know, they poisoned him, gave him cancer, and look what's happening in Venezuela now, and everybody's blaming it on socialism or communism when it's actually capitalism trying to squish an up-and-coming oil-rich nation again. Same story.
Yeah, it sure seems like that's the story. I mean, they have a giant oil supply,
third largest in the world, I think.
And they've nationalized all of the oil companies, I believe, long ago.
Yeah, they took it back from the Americans.
Yeah, long ago. And last I heard, which I haven't heard for a while, but last I heard, like, gasoline was selling for like 19 cents a gallon there. I don't think anymore, but back, but when what was his name?
Chavez?
Yeah, when Chavez was president, it was like 19 cents a gallon. I know that was a while back, but
yeah, and then they invested all the money from the nationalized oil, gasoline companies, and they reinvested it right back into the people, and they created housing and food co-ops and maybe some things to do with education also, and they paved the streets and stuff like that, and they screwed up a little bit on the economy. There was some waste, and his predecessor Moreno wasn't as sharp as Chavez, but when you have American or international corporations squeezing the supply lines on specific items so that the economy of a certain country is put under pressure, and then you have diplomatic pressure. There was and CIA infiltration. At one time, Moreno kicked out all of the "quote unquote" ambassadors out of that country.
Yeah,
and there was a drone attack on him. I'm sure you saw that. You probably put that.
Yeah, during the parade, right?
Yeah. And they had 2 drones that went off, exploded like not a couple hundred feet away from him, and nobody was hurt as far as I know. But that was the name. He blamed it on the neighboring country being in league with the CIA. So, I mean, there was some head of the CIA at one time. I don't know which one said, however bad you think it is, it's worse than that. So it really is. I mean, things are screwed up. I hate that for that to be my mantra, but
it's so sad, man. It's no one wants that for their mantra. Everybody, it's like I keep saying, we want cops that we can look up to. You know what I mean? It's not that we want to point at the cops and say they're the worst people in the community. That's not what we want. We want them to be the heroes. We want them to be the pillars. We want the politicians to be the fucking pillars of the community. We want the fucking medical community to give us only the best information that's going to help us, be the healthiest we can be. But it's all a bunch of bullshit. And it's the media. I mean, come on. It just all fucking. There's got to be a way out of it. They
controlled the flow and quality of the information for so long that when the internet came along, this supposedly free and open forum of ideas and information, and people started to get wise, and then they realized, oh my God, we've got wars on my computer now. Everyone can watch the war over here or the war over there, and everybody knows that this person is crooked, and everybody knows what happened here and what happened there, and the free flow of information.
And anybody can get information out in the blink of an eye.
Right. So, yeah, live, which is cool. I really like live programs. People on the ground having to duck bullets and stuff like that. Giving you the real story.
Yeah.
So that's what I like. I like live streamers, and I like anything that's true.
Yeah.
And so they're doing their best to put dirt in the water and mix everybody up and confuse everyone and put out fake stories, but. So we just have to get smarter. That's the only thing. I was reading your what do you call it? Your chat room there that you got on the side of your video, and one guy was saying it's no good to figure out what the cause of evil is, and I said that's the only thing that's going to fix it is if we figure out what the cause of evil is. That's information.
The only thing that's going to fix it is all of us coming together. I mean, really and truly, and it appears that's what the government and the media and all these pillars of the community jobs are, is to divide and conquer. They keep us all separated, then they never have to worry about us coming together and conquering them, because united we can make anything happen. But this divided shit is only going to spell the end of our species, and we deserve better. It should be so easy for us to come together and reprioritize the whole world at this point. But the powers that be will never let it happen.
No, they really want their control. It's a psychopath. It's institutionalized psychopathy. They want a psychopath. Once he got your scent, and once he hates you, he'll never give up stalking you or attacking you. And the government and all the institutions are the same way. Once they get power, you know, nobody gives up power willingly. You have to force them. And, you know, the revolution isn't some apple that just falls from the tree. You have to make it fall. You have to shake the tree, you know. So I'm, you know, every time something serious happens in my neighborhood, I'm there. You know, I don't live in LA. I'm an hour and a half from LA. But when Occupy happened, there was no Occupy in my town. So I went down to the biggest camp I know of near me.
Yeah.
So I got involved. I was down there every week, you know, feeding them, hanging out, learning, checking it out. And it was a zoo, but
but there was nowhere better to be, right?
Well, it seemed to me an opportunity to change the world that was, you know, like you said, people coming together.
That's what it was. It was these people. No, what they were saying is, we want the change that we were promised. We were promised change, Obama. Where's our fucking change? You know?
Right. Yeah.
And that's what people seem to not get, is that it was this protest happened on Obama's watch. On Obama's watch, the people went into the streets to protest. What was happening? Who was in charge? Obama. That means they were protesting Obama, you know?
Right.
And
he was laughing at us.
Yeah, after telling us during the election that if people go into the street, when the people go into the street, I'll be right there with you, shoulder to shoulder. What a fucking joke.
Yeah, I think 500 million was funneled to all the individual police departments in the United States to squish Occupy Wall Street specifically.
Yeah, no, that seems to be the job of fucking Homeland Security. Like I said, is basically to prepare the country for martial law. That seems to be their sole purpose, is making sure that the police departments are militarized and ready to fucking stand up against their citizens, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's the world we live in right now. That is not an exaggeration. That's the actual reality. So what do? You have to become a saint, a hero, a rebel. You choose your word, but you have to be that. You can't just put your head down and say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, I'll pay you the extra $300 for this fee. I'm sorry. You know, you can't be apologetic. You got to be strong, and you have to stand up for your rights. That's what it means. Don't sit down. Stand up. Get up.
Yeah, you have to. We have to. You have to exercise your freedoms. You know, they say if you don't use it, you lose it, right? You know, and that's why I want to encourage people to grow marijuana, man. Because what I see happening is that with the legalization movement, they're going to say, but you can't grow marijuana. We'll make sure it's in every fucking store in every fucking corner, but you can't grow marijuana. And you can't have strains like Girl Scout cookies. Come on, that's just designed to attract the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Halloween's coming up, and you got to watch out because, you know, all those evil marijuana growers, they're going to be making marijuana candy to give to your kids, man.
Oh, there's going to be some of those stories coming up for sure, huh?
Bullshit. Nobody's going to do that. What marijuana grower would even do that? It's like, you know, marijuana growers are like philosopher scientists, really. They're gardeners of a very specific type, and they're not like child molesters, or they're not going to drug you with anything.
They're what you're saying. They're the ones that are standing up against what's wrong. They're the ones, you know, all the people for fucking the last 40 years that have broken the law and made sure that I was able to get marijuana. Those people probably saved my life and made it so that I'm still here. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for them, I think there's a good chance I wouldn't be here right now.
True. I think all marijuana use is medicinal use. If you're just smoking it and watching a movie or listening to rock and roll or making your own music or going down and hanging out with your friends, that's medicinal use.
You know, it's because it's this thing, like I said, it changes priorities, right? If you're coming home from work and you're like, man, I can't believe this motherfucker did that to me at work. Who's that guy think he is? Or, you know, these fucking cars, why are these fucking, what is wrong with these people driving? Pull your head out of your ass. You know what I mean? You take a puff and all that doesn't matter anymore. You're like, fucking Led Zeppelin is cool, man. You know?
Whole lot of love, baby.
And that's medicinal right there. That's because they say they have you taking all these fucking supplements and all these things that are like to help you fucking do this and help you do that. You know, have you ever seen that Star Trek episode where they go to the planet and there's like this flower and the flower shoots spores at people?
Yeah, made Spock fall in love. Right?
Made Spock fall in love, exactly. That show is all about marijuana. Because this one flower makes you healthy and happy, and it just makes it like, that's what I'm saying. It just completely changed Spock's priority, right? Spock is like never smiled on any episode ever, and he got a shitty grin the whole fucking episode. You know?
Yeah.
It's all about weed. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I can pretty much. I remember on that episode, Spock said, "Love is like a bouquet of flowers that smells real bad."
Skunky.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know what the big deal is. I've been around marijuana since maybe 1970, I think. You know, I'm fine. And all my brothers and sisters that don't smoke, they're all fucking Looney Tunes, stressed out, trying to keep up with the Joneses and dumbed down people that I don't respect. You know, I think I'm the only child in my family that has been smoking marijuana for 4+ decades, you know, so the rest of them are it's like they're living in a crazy land and they do crazy things and they can't relax and they don't have any real self-knowledge. You know, they're putting on an act. And, you know, I think what marijuana does, you know, I don't usually talk about it because I'm sitting in a room full of marijuana right now, you know. But,
lucky.
Say what?
Lucky.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm about to take a nap and come back and trim all this shit later. But, you know, it's just like no big deal. It's like being in a room full of tomatoes. It's a crop. It's just a plant, you know.
Well,
I think
it's a beautiful plant, and that it has a lot of energy. That it, you know, like I always wanted to have a big one in the living room. You know, just kind of like sitting there, like, yeah, there's my baby.
Well, you better have a very sunny living room if you're going to put it in your living room.
I'm looking at a corner tent. You know, they got these tents that are triangles and they fit right in the corner now.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, is it legal in Washington?
No, not to grow it.
Oh shit, man! No wonder you're bitching. Shit. I've been growing so long that I've literally had 6 cops standing in my yard underneath a bunch of 12-foot tall marijuana plants that are budding.
Wow.
And they came. This stupid girl I was renting to forgot to go to court, and she got a warrant. She listed my address as her address, right? So they come and they're, oh, Shanti here, and they're like all Rambo, and they're looking all around, and I swear to God, I went and I grabbed my permits and everything, and I stuck them in my back pocket just in case.
Yeah.
A hard time. They didn't even say anything. I think they had so much tunnel vision looking for their victim, this stupid little girl that got a warrant, that they didn't even notice they were standing underneath 12-foot tall marijuana trees. They've probably never even seen a marijuana tree that big, you know?
Yeah. So, well, a lot of us haven't seen
nothing to me. I just think that my lifestyle is different from most people's.
Well, it's like you're saying, though. It's like you're saying, like the people that you know who don't smoke are all stressed out. And they say stress is the killer. You know what I mean? It's the stress that makes it so that, you know, everything is it fucked. So
Corporations are people, my friend.
Man, go ahead.
You still there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a whack world. I mean, I thought it was legal in Washington, but
Yeah, it's legal. You just can't grow it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, exactly. What?
God damn! Who grows it then?
Only people who have permits from the state, or a recommendation from a doctor.
I got a permit. That's how I'm a grower. You know.
Oh, do you? Cool.
Yeah, I'm not like some guy that I'm hiding from the cops.
Well, no, but it's legal to grow in California, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfectly legal. All you need is a permit.
You got to have a permit to grow it. Then.
Yeah, it's been basically legal here since 1996. They had what they call the Compassionate Care Act.
Oh, well, you mean the medical marijuana script?
Right, and then you have different stages.
So only medical patients can grow in California?
Say that again?
Only medical patients can grow in California?
I'm not sure what the correct answer to that question is. The point is,
because like in Canada, anybody who's over 18 can grow 4 plants. In Colorado, anybody who's over 21 can grow 15 plants.
I mean, all you got to do is go sit down at a doctor and shake your leg and say, "Hey, doctor, I got nervous leg syndrome." He says, "Okay, here you go." And
that's not all you have to do. Then you have to give them $100.
Or 2 or 3, depending on which kind of permit you got. But.
So I mean, that's not all that you have to do. Here you can't grow unless you're a medical patient. I understand that that this is the only state that it's that way. So you may not need your medical card in order to grow anymore. So you know.
The laws are so fucked up that if you go to a different county in California, the laws are different.
Right. Well, I tell everybody, if you're going to grow, even if it's legal in your state, it's a really good idea to have a card because there's laws against them messing with medical people.
Right. That protects you legally, and it's worth $100, $200, or $300 per year to protect yourself legally. And I've had cops trying to bust me, but they couldn't do it because I always comply with the law. I'm always grow a couple less plants than I'm entitled to.
How many are you allowed to grow?
I can grow 200.
What?
Yeah.
Holy moly! I guess you grow a couple less than you're allowed to grow. I can grow 15.
Well, yeah, but if you formed a co-op, I don't know about your co-op laws. If you formed a co-op, you could grow more.
I think that they don't allow the co-op laws here either.
I don't know.
It's like if my roommate is a medical patient also, then we're still only allowed to grow 15 plants.
But you both have cards.
That's correct.
Well, what good is a card then if you so in other words, you can't live with anyone else who's growing marijuana.
You can, but you can't grow it. Wow. If you're living with them.
That's a weird loophole. That's weird.
This is so screwed up. The law up here is so screwed up, man. It's just not right at all. We deserve better.
Yes, you do. And you got 2 main enemies on the marijuana front. You got the screwy state laws that every state is different, and then you've got the corporations, which are coming in, especially here in California, and they're just trying to buy up the whole market like cigarettes. They want to shut out all of the little growers and the garden growers and the private growers. And they just want to, you got Mike Tyson in there growing 10 million plants, and you got Snoop Dogg. He's got his own farm, and he's growing 1 million plants, and it's a corporation there. And like Marlboro is in there.
I really don't mind. I mean, I really don't mind all these corporations coming in, and as long as they're making fair deals with the people. But the people have to be allowed to grow, and this is the real problem with the big corporations. And like I keep saying, why I'm trying to encourage as many people as possible to grow is because the big corporations are going to come in and go, "Oh no, people can't grow. No. You can always say,
People, my friend.
yeah. There was a South Park episode a couple weeks back, where one of the big marijuana farms in Colorado was all upset about home growers and started to start fucking setting fires to their gardens and shit.
Wow, that's nice. That's a nice corporation.
Yeah. Well, they're making a point. You know, the South Park guys are very brilliant, and they're trying to show that again, it's not legal if we're not allowed to grow. And the thing is, the more people that are growing, the less chance they'll ever be able to take it from us. If 10 people on every fucking block in America have gardens in their closet, there is no way they're taking this plant. No fucking corporation's ever going to get it from us. But if there's one grower per town, it's going to be all these people, the corporations are going to grab it. The government's going to go, oh, you can't have Girl Scout cookies. You can't have anything that sounds like candy, and they're going to say, you can grow these strains. These are the strains that are allowed for the big corporations to grow, and no one else can grow. That's what I see coming. And that's why I'm trying to, that's why I want to encourage people to grow it, people who can legally, as many of them as possible to grow, because it's a challenge, and it's not an easy thing to do, but you can do it, and it will be very much worth your while once you have that knowledge under your belt.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like growing vegetables. It's more tricky than that, but. So what? I mean, what are they going to do? I grow vegetables also. Are they going to come in and tell me I have too many jalapenos or too many tomatoes? It's like, why? I mean, it's a plant,
Yeah. And that's the whole point about this. Why is it illegal in Washington state for people to grow weed? The voters of this state stood up against the police state and said, God damn it, we want our motherfucking weed. And they said, okay, here, you can have these little baby steps to weed. Here, you can have weed, but you can't have edibles. Okay, maybe a year from now you can have edibles. And here's edibles, but you can't grow weed. Fuck you. We don't need your permission to live our lives. It's a load of crap. We deserve better.
I've seen at least 3 different reports that have stated that smoking marijuana doesn't destroy your ability to drive a car. It has practically no effect on your ability to drive a car. But they probably already have developed kind of like breathalyzers or something where you can, if a cop suspects you of being high on marijuana and thereby you're legally impaired, they're still going to try to bust you for some kind of drunk driving or something, when actually the science data that I've seen says that there's hardly any impairment at all. And I'll tell you the truth, I don't care if the men in black are listening or not.
They are.
I drive high every single fucking day for the last 40 years, and I haven't been in a fucking accident in 40 years. So,
and you know why? Because the last thing he wants is to have to be involved with the police state when he's fucking driving high. Okay, it's that simple.
Well, what are they gonna do?
They're gonna fuck your world, man. Every which way they can. That's what the police state does.
I don't take drugs. I can pass any field sobriety tests. I can look the cop in the eye. I don't get nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of cops. So what are they gonna do?
They're going to try and fuck your world. That is what they do.
But if someone panics and breaks down and says, I smoked a joint before I left the house, they're going straight to jail.
Yeah, you don't tell the cops anything, man.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't do anything, Why your eyes red? I'm having allergies. There's fucking a lot of pollen in the air.
I mean, I don't harass cops, and I'm very polite to them, but I'm not afraid of them. And the cops, they feed off of fear. When they realize you're not afraid of them and you're not doing anything wrong, they're basically just going to go away. But people don't know that. People think, I got flashing red and blue lights behind me, and now, I'm stopped at the side of the road, and I hope I didn't do anything wrong. And they're like pissing their pants because the cop is coming. There's nothing to worry about. That cop, if you're not on meth or drunk, what do you got, and you don't have a warrant? What do you have to worry about from a cop?
Well, if you're black, you might get shot.
You took the words right out of my mouth, man. I forgot about black people, but yeah.
But I mean, but the fear is just, I mean, it's there for all of us, dude. I mean, if you have weed in your pocket, then you're worried that the cops are going to hassle you about weed, because cops hassle people all the time about whatever they want because they're having a bad day. Because they, you know, their girlfriend was just fucking pissing on them, and now they're mad and they want to take it out on somebody. You know,
their girlfriend was probably beat up by them the night before. You know, there's
well,
so much violence coming from cops on.
This is what I'm saying. You know that they're violent, so it's natural for people to be nervous about having to deal with a cop who's, you know, looking at you sideways.
It's also natural to realize that you're a sovereign human being. You are endowed by your Creator with inalienable rights. They can't be taken from you, and that you have the right to look that cop in the eye, be polite, say, yes, sir, here's my driver's license. No, I haven't done anything wrong. No, I haven't been drinking. See you later, sir. Yeah, have a nice day. You don't have to be afraid of cops. You don't have to.
He's right. You don't have to be afraid of cops.
Hey, am I being detained? And, well, you know, this law says this, and you don't agitate the cops.
Yeah.
They're like fucking Rottweilers, man. You don't agitate a Rottweiler.
No.
Say, here, doggy, you're a nice doggy. You know.
And you never volunteer any information, okay? If they ask you if you have drugs on you and you have drugs on you, as long as you don't have needles that are going to poke them, you say, no, I don't have drugs on me, okay? Because they don't need to know that you have drugs on you. And if you say yes, then you give them very little option but to fucking bust you for fucking drugs.
Absolutely, yeah. But, you know, just there's a little game you got to play with cops, and most of them.
And film them, like Wilco says.
Play that game, you know?
Film them. The thing they hate the most is a fucking camera. You put a camera on them, and they're gonna fucking, they're gonna act. They're gonna get really, you know, like they're gonna be. The world is gonna be watching, okay? So they're gonna know it because they've heard that said to them a million times now.
Yeah, but you know, I'm really sorry for the police state. I'm sorry for the state of my country. Me and you, we're both trying to do something about it. A lot of people are trying to do something about it.
You know, the truth is, dude, I have sympathy for the cops too. Okay, because I think, you know, whatever has happened, they're in this position, and if you're going to be a cop, then this is who they are. Okay, and I, like you're saying, I'm not saying that they're all bad, but when they get lumped in with all the other ones and they protect the other ones, then you have this, you know, one bad apple is not. It's a whole bunch of fucking shitty people are protecting each other, and that doesn't work. But I feel bad for the cops because they're you know, they're in this position where, you know, they got to deal with the dregs of society all day long, and that's something I really would not want to do, because yeah, you know, and a whole bunch of other shit, you know, but the thing where you talk about how you're not afraid, the thing that the cops always say is that I feared for my life. And to me, if you have that kind of fear in you, you know, about a kid, a teenager who's holding a fucking a pen, a pencil, and you think and you want to call it a gun or a knife or whatever because of your fear, you know, you shouldn't be a cop. Okay.
Well, look what happens in Palestine.
Because if somebody's holding a fucking pencil and you can't fucking deal with them, you shouldn't be a motherfucking cop. Okay.
Yeah, in Palestine, they'll shoot a girl, then search her and find out she had no weapons, no bomb, and then they'll throw a knife down. You know, so it happens all over the world. It's not just an American thing.
No, I have a video listed on the front page, right? I have like a playlist on the front page, and one of them is about the police state. and it talks. The title is "We All Know Cops carry weapons that they can drop."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It could be a squirt gun.
it says some cops have throwdown guns. They drop at the scene. Cops have. That's the title of. That's Van Jones. You know who Van Jones is, right? That's Van Jones. Yeah, that's Van Jones saying that. We know that cops have throwdown guns. That's a fucking. This is the world we live in. That we all know that. And again, this is what I keep saying. These are the pillars of the community who we're supposed to turn to, and they're just as dirty as any fucking dirty cop on a fucking movie that you ever saw. And it's just disgusting that that's the way the world is.
Yeah, well, that's what got me going is, in my own life, I experienced personal tragedies, tremendous injustice, a lot of attacks. And so when 9/11 happened and I found out that it was a false flag, that spurred me right into action. It's like, no fucking way, man. This is my fucking planet and you in my country, and you can't do that to me. And so it's like, fuck you. The total warrior came up in me, and I've never stopped. I'm never going to stop, because if we don't stand up, what about these kids that are growing up today? They're not even going to be able to know what happened.
It's they're just clamping down on the information too. I mean, it's just getting tighter and tighter. It's not like it's getting better, or we're getting some more freedoms to be able to communicate with each other. And and when you said when you became aware that 9/11 was an inside job, when was that?
It was late, about 2006, 2007. I didn't, despite the fact that I was a steel worker in 1980, and I was using cranes and fitting those same beams together and working hundreds of feet in the air. And I knew I read steel blueprints, and I know I was a steel fitter. That's the guy that puts together all the beams. Despite my knowledge of the steel industry and high-rise construction, I was so fucking mind controlled that when I saw it and I heard the voice on the TV say, Osama bin Laden, Al Qaeda, I believed it. It wasn't until years later when people started really, probably people like you, started coming out with the documentaries and the videos and the proof. And it's like, oh, fuck, how could I have been so stupid, And so, and then you must have had 100,000 kids putting on a uniform, marching off to war with Al Qaeda because they blew up some towers, So, Chris Boleyn, he's a personal friend of mine. I know Chris very well. I know Max Egan very well personally. I know Ken O'Keefe, and I try to meet every major conspiracy guy on the planet if I possibly can. I'll meet them personally, and more than half of them are full of shit. And there's a whole industry of what do you call them, conspiracy theorists that they're making money off of the whole conspiracy thing. And,
there's a giant market there, and they're just looking for opportunity to take their little chunk of that market. That's all.
Yeah, they're like preachers,
Yeah.
You get up on the pulpit and you say blah blah blah, Jesus saves, and pass the hat,
Right.
So, but Chris Boleyn, he's a real deal. I know Chris real well, and he's a real American hero. He got his arm busted by the FBI in Chicago, and he was pretty much forced to move to Denmark or Sweden and move out of the country. And he's pretty much the premier 9/11 researcher, even though I think he's wrong on one piece of information. That would be the Pentagon. He thinks a missile went into the Pentagon. I think a plane went into the Pentagon. But, he's my age. I think he's maybe 1 year older than me. And he's smart, and he's been at this game longer than both you and me. And he risked his life to tell the truth, and he got fucked with by the government and arrested and the way that he got out of going to prison, being framed and going to prison, was just moving out of the country. So he's not allowed to go back to Illinois, but he can travel through the United States freely now. And I don't know if you know who he is. You know who he is, Chris Bowen?
You know what, the name, it sounds familiar, but I'm not sure who it is. No.
Yeah, well, he's one of these guys. He was writing for Freedom Press or some newspaper back in the 90s, and he was all over. He was pre 9/11 conspiracy guy, but he's a journalist and a researcher. He has a degree in Middle East studies, so he lived in Israel for a while, so he knows geopolitics really well, and he's hooked in with 9/11. What do you call them? Lawyers for 9/11 Truth and architects for 9/11 Truth, and he knows Richard Gage real well, and so he's one of the major pundits and authors and researchers, and he did amazing work, and it's infallible work, and he was in New York on that day, September 11th, and he saw the two towers, and he took a detour around New York, and he knew within hours that it was a false flag event, a giant false flag event, and it took me another 6-7 years to realize it. So that's why I'm patient with people. It's because if I was dumb enough to believe the official story, all people really need is accurate information, and they'll come on board. They'll go through a period of disbelief, then shock, and then anger. They'll get into the anger mode,
The anger mode is not where we need to be. There needs to be a step beyond the anger mode that is this. I don't know. It's just, what I mean. It's got to be more. We have to. We're not going to be able to accomplish what needs to be accomplished out of anger.
Yeah, well, anger. You can't stay angry for 20 years, but anger is a good motivator. And then, if you're going to be a real world-class rebel, a world-class, mover and shaker, an intellectual freedom fighter, whatever you want to call it, conspiracy theorist, if you're going to really get in that game and not just play a game, but actually try to change the world around you, either on a large scale or a small scale or both, if you're going to do that like I'm doing and like you're doing, I know you're doing it for a good reason, then you have to get past the anger, because you can't stay angry for 20 years. You have to realize that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You can't just get angry and hope the world's going to change. You have to realize, I'm in the big game now. I have to learn a bunch of things if I'm going to be potent in this game, That's why I try.
Yeah, no, we're really glad you're part of the conversation, Michael. It's Michael, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't say when you called it, but I figured that's what it was. I'm really glad that you're part of this conversation, and thanks so much for all your help, and that you are here and actually joining in, because it seems like you really have a lot to add. So.
Well, you remember that movie Kingdom of Heaven? It was with Orlando Bloom.
No, I don't know that one.
Yeah, well, he goes to. It's a pretty good story. It's a heroic story, and he's a bastard, and his father comes back. His father's some baron in Palestine, serving the king of Jerusalem, and comes back and he finds him, and then he takes him. His wife is dead, and he killed the priest, so he goes to Palestine, and his father dies, so he becomes the baron, and he inherits his father's land, and he says, he gets to his father's land, and he's got all these camels and sheep and horses and Bedouins and Muslims and Christians living on his land. It's called Evelyn, that's the name of his land. And he starts fixing the place up, and he digs wells, and he gets water coming up into the land, and he says, what is a man who doesn't try to make the world a better place? And so that's what we're all doing. We're just trying to make the world a better place, and maybe the well that I'm talking about is a well of information, and information is key. You have to really want to know the truth.
It's just sharing too. It's just us, reaching out to each other to share the truth, and you're saying, that's what I keep saying is, we need this. It's us coming together, and just digging these wells, man. It's like you're saying,
Yeah.
what is it? If you're not making the world better, if you're not trying to solve the problems, then, what's the point of being here? And what kind of a life is that? You know what I mean? That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I'm definitely not the kind of guy that's living on his knees. I'm doing everything wrong. I'm growing weed. I'm recording music. I'm a rebel. I don't salute the flag. I'm doing everything wrong, but I feel right, and I know I'm right. And it's like everybody's got a gift, and I want everyone to express their gift. And I'm not a special person, but I want people to be free. I want the little kid growing up not to become a sheep. I want him to become a wolf.
We want him to be everything that he can be, so that we can have the most optimistic future. If he's a fucking sheep, then the future is fucking not as bright as if he's a fucking anything that he wants to be, that he could possibly dream of being. A
good world is only built by free men, and freedom is not an easy thing. You have to fight for it.
And we're out here fighting, bro.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll let you go, Mike. Take care, and thanks for doing the call in.
Hey, man. Thanks for being part of it. We're really glad you're here. Brother. Talk to you again soon, I hope. Have a great weekend. Okay, so and it's always nice when Michael calls because he has lots of interesting things to say. Where's that coming from? Damn it. Hello, caller.
Ding dong.
Man, you are late tonight. Hello, caller.
Your call cannot be completed as done.
All right, let's try again. Bing Bong Man is late tonight.
Press 1 to take this call.
Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going good. How are you?
Not too bad. I've been called in a couple of months. This is Vinny Goy's child.
Hey, well, it's good to hear from you, Vinny.
Yeah, man. Good to hear you. Yeah, I like some of the stuff the last caller was talking about, just about, these perpetual wars that, were thrown on us after 9/11, chasing this boogeyman that, the Israelis threw out there so we can go fight their wars, this ODED, Greater Israel Project, destabilizing, balkanizing the Middle East and fomenting all this mass immigration. So,
and profiteering off the people for generations to come.
Right. I actually wanted to call in because I've been protesting out here in Colorado at a comic book store.
Yeah.
For 8 months, they've been putting on an all ages drag show. And like regardless of how people feel about that, I have the right to go out there and voice my free speech. And Antifa started showing up there the last 2 months. They put all my family's information online. They've been calling my work. I got a call from my boss today saying that, they've studied me. They put like I said, they put my background, my arrest record, my everything online, trying to deter me from using my free speech and getting out and voicing my opinions and how I feel. So they called me anti-Semitic, and they called me anti-vaxxer and all this nonsense.
Well, the labels, I mean, that's the first thing they do is they attach the labels to you, and then everybody knows what kind of evil person you are, because all they really care about is what the label says, not what you're saying.
Well, in this right-left paradigm, I feel like, people are so disillusioned by this political process because we know it's run by the lobby groups, and the interest of the people isn't heard unless it's it's pro-establishment and it goes against the will of the collective.
Yeah.
But Trump's being represented as a nationalist, bigot, racist, when really he's more pro-establishment than any president has ever been. He signs anything that Israel wants. He's pro-Israel before he's a pro-America. So it's not.
He seems to be more concerned. He seemed to be more concerned with how the Congress people talk about Israel than almost anything else. Oh, you can't talk that way about Israel. When he's talking about the squad or whatever, he's saying.
For God's sake, he said he was a globalist and a nationalist. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but.
I mean, again, this is just the labels. These labels are just stupid, and they just it's just worthless. All it's used is to fucking make it so you put that person in that box, and we're all so much more than that. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and people like this whole PC culture of people are preconditioned to have this propensity to cringe if they hear a certain word or if they get offended. But they have free speech laws, anti-free speech laws that have been passed with bipartisan support and media blackouts under Trump. They passed H.R. 1911 and H.R. 336, which take away our right as American citizens to boycott or to talk about the state of Israel or Jewish supremacy and how there's over 100 dual citizen politicians in our political process. And they say in the tenets of Zionism that you can't have dual loyalty.
Well, they're not. Yeah, but they're not saying that you can't talk about it. They're saying that if you talk about it, you're going to be put on a list.
They've already fired a teacher in Pflugerville, Texas, a Palestinian woman for not signing a boycott.
Right. No. She was pro BDS on her Facebook or something like that, and people but the thing is,
they even tried to split it
a whole bunch of states have passed these laws, and they're they're completely unconstitutional, and why is it that you can't talk about Israel? You can't boycott it. Why is it not okay to boycott Israel? But you can boycott American businesses. You can boycott any other fucking country. You can boycott China, no problem. You can boycott any other, Ireland, England, any other country. I'm not buying products from there.
It's not just Israel either. That's what I'm saying. It's also just the word Jew in general. You can say whatever you want about Jesus. You can say whatever you want about Muhammad and Muslims and everything. But if you talk about their faith, then they have the protection of Holocaustianity.
Yeah.
There's been way worse genocides that have taken place since that one. Since what they tell us happened there. But they write the pop culture. They admit that they control Hollywood.
Well, they can,
I don't think that's a conspiracy theory.
Well, yeah. All right. So, what's Vinny? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Aurora, Colorado.
Right on. Are you? Do you enjoy the cannabis freedom there?
I think it's obviously our right as humans, but I see the pros and cons of it for sure. A lot of people from California are moving out here solely for that purpose.
Yeah, but it's legal in California now. Yeah, no, I hear you. That was the same thing happened in Washington State because we legalized pretty much the same time, California and Washington. I mean, Washington and Colorado, and I hear exactly what you're saying about the people chasing the green gold rush or whatever.
Yeah, well, and I see it like you know they're gonna give us kind of a trade off. Like here's your weed and your mushrooms, but we're gonna pass red flag bills. You know, we're gonna call, you know, conspiracy theorists a domestic threat. I mean, all these laws are pretty much coming out of Colorado. We have Jared Polis, a homosexual Jewish man, which think whatever you want about it, but he's passed the red flag bill, which allows law enforcement to come take your guns and the burden of proof to fall on you to get them back. He's passed vaccine exemption restrictions, making it harder for parents with autistic children to opt out of vaccinating. He's also passed.
They've done the same thing in Washington State. Both of those things you just mentioned, they did that in Washington State also.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's medical freedom that they're going after, but
it's more than medical. Yeah, it's you're right. It's medical freedom. They're trying. It's all our freedoms. Any of our freedoms. Anything that we say, no, we're in charge, and we're going to decide what we do. They're threatened by that, and they want to take that.
Are working for that agenda.
I know.
Being funded by George Soros, Project for a New America, all these think tank groups that are funded by these billionaire pieces of crap that want to destabilize and want to keep us divided and, you know, perpetuate this Hegelian dialectic of problem reaction solution, so that they can implement, you know, the clampdown of this neo-Bolshevik UN sustainability redevelopment. I mean, they want us all in these big cities packed together, being radiated by this 5G shit.
It sure seems like that's what they want. It does seem like that is what they want. I agree. All right, Vinny. Right. Thanks a lot for calling. It's good to hear from you, man. I hope things are good where you are.
Yeah, I'm protesting Sunday, so if you guys want to check out my channel or whatever,
in
I'm
Aurora
on now too.
That's in Aurora.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's at Denver at Mile High Comics.
Okay.
At 5:00.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Good to hear from you. Okay.
Call.
Pressing 1. Hello, caller.
Mike, what's going on?
I am here sitting and taking phone calls. What's going on with you?
God damn, man. I feel like I finally won the prize, man. I called you like 12 freaking times, bro.
Well, I don't know. The phone's ringing a little bit tonight. The first hour wasn't that way. You should have been here in the first hour, Michelle.
I was in the first hour, but you were saying so much good shit. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know? But it was so fucking funny when I heard, what's that lady's name? Malachi or
Michaela? Michaela.
Yeah. God damn. When I was hearing her, I was looking at me like, am I like out of body and shit, man? He was talking about, it's my first time calling and shit. And I'm like, oh my God, she's got that shit from me, man. Because I was hearing everything she was saying. She was so excited that somebody was listening to her. It was incredible.
Yeah, she really had some things she wanted to get out. She was, you know, she it wasn't just she was a first time caller. She said she never done this before. And I remember because I said, I don't trust girls who say that.
And it's the same shit you gave me. I remember when I told you that I was a virgin and you popped my cherry on the first time call. I was like, oh my God, that girl is me. Like, what the fuck? That was fucking hilarious because I was the same freaking way. I was listening to it and I was like, God dang, man, was I got fucking off the chain the first time I called you? Yeah, I was. You know, and it's just something because, you know, like, you know, unlike the media, you know, the mainstream media and shit, when you start making sense or have something that has to do to oppose what they want you to believe, you know, they shut you down. But you're not like that. Your show is so incredible that you hear people out and you let them vent, and you know, and that's a good thing. And I really love that about your show.
And so when you were saying, oh, Michelle and all this and that, you kept saying that, I was like, oh my God, yeah, she gave me a flashback too. It sounded like me. I was like, what the fuck? But I hope that you keep this show going. You've been at it for over 16 years. And
so did you find out what's going on with the strike, or?
Everything got approved. So I'm back to work. So that's why I wanted to call you one last time.
Right on. That's awesome.
When I go back to work, it's going to be hard for me to get a hold of you, but it's okay though. I'll still donate. I'll still donate to you even though we don't talk, because I believe in what you're doing.
Hey, maybe you can get a break while we're on, and you can get it on the phone and get all your buddies to call in and at the same time.
Oh, I'm definitely going to bring it up to them. I'm definitely going to talk to them and talk about you and, how it doesn't matter what you believe in. You're open to a conversation. And that's an art that has been lost. We can't have conversations anymore. It's either you believe in what I say because that's what they told me and everybody else is wrong. And this is the first station that I have got to talk, and say what I had to say. And I feel like I calmed down after the first time I called you.
Are you looking forward to a nice weekend before you go back to work, or what? You got any plans?
No, just getting my ducks in a row. And then just, move forward just like before. When I go to work, I have no life. They keep you like that to where, I can't miss a day of work, or, you get behind. It's just like everybody else. We work a week, no matter what people think of how much we make. It's not like that. It's like somebody last time that I had talked, or when I was talking to you on the conversation, they were like, well, cry me a river. I'm making $10 an hour. And I believe it was Dave or something. I don't remember his last name. But it was like, I was not doing that because it doesn't matter who works and how much they're getting paid. We are all struggling.
And $10 an hour is like the same boat that you're talking about. And the truth is, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Nobody can raise any kind of family on that, So it's basically slave. If you can't raise a family on your 40-hour work week, then it's basically you're a slave. And that's not right. And we need to make a better world than that for everybody.
And that's true, but it turns around to, corporate greed where they don't care if you see your family. A lot of people that, we all been on strike, they're like, they reintroduce themselves to their families.
Yeah.
Because they're gone all the time. 6 days a week, mandatory. It's like, you don't have that. All you're doing is, my feeling is, all I'm doing is going to work. Maybe I'll have a couple of drinks with my, coworkers after work, but then I got to go to bed, get up, fucking get shit ready, go back to work. It's like Groundhog Day all over again every fucking day.
Yeah.
And then,
but you have good people that you work with?
Yeah, some, but it's just like, I'm a factory worker, so it's to the point to where, there's always, it's like high school.
Yeah.
You know who the bullies were. You know who the bullies were in high school.
Yeah.
Because they bring that to the workplace. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not in it for all that. I'm here to make a living, and that's it.
Yeah.
But, it's hard. It really is a struggle when you're doing repetitive work. And a lot of coworkers that I have do have certifications and a higher thing than just being, a production worker.
Yeah.
And it's like what a lot of people say, well, you're getting paid good money. Look, I can't even afford the fucking trucks that we are building that tells you anything,
Yeah, which is what made Ford great in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Was it his workers could afford the cars that they were building. That's what made the Ford Corporation a great corporation.
Exactly, because it was for the workers. He understands and he appreciated the workers. It's not like that anymore. Mm-hmm. I have relatives that worked at GM before. It's not just like that anymore. It's like they want to keep you in that rat race to where you work, you don't have time to do anything else.
Yeah.
So get to work. Otherwise it's going to be reprimanded.
Overworked and underpaid.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, you guys talk about the economy, about this and that. Well, how about if you fucking respected your workers so that way they could have time to take their family out here and there and do whatnot and pay into the economy? They don't understand that. All they understand is, hey, the profit fucking shareholders They fucking want their money. We don't give a fuck about you and your life.
Yeah.
You know, and
You're lucky. You're lucky we give you what we give you.
There you go. And it's like, you should be happy with that shit. You know, and they're like, if you're not happy with this, go to another company that treats you even worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
go, like, you know,
go try your luck out there in the cold fucking world. See how you do.
Exactly. As long as you're still fucking building what they need you to build, so that way they get fucking money hand over fist. You know, I was not happy with this contract because it still fucked a lot of people over. You know, they didn't open the plants that we were fighting for. You know, they closed down 4 plants in U.S. They still didn't fucking open them up. They opened one of the 4 that we wanted. And yet, it's like, it's hard because the UAW is, you know, it's a conflict of interest. They're supposed to be with us, but yet they hold millions in profit shares. You know, and it's like, why does the UAW have millions in profit shares? It should be for the workers, because now the conflict of interest is that they're thinking, well, hell, we're going to lose all this fucking money. Fuck the workers. Let's just go ahead and approve this fake ass fucking contract. And a lot of them bit. And that's why we fucking passed this shit. And I voted no for it, to tell you the truth. Because I'm like, they're giving the CEOs $20 million as a bonus. And for fucking what? We're the ones out there breaking our bodies down. We're the ones out there fucking nonstop. You know, God forbid you want a day off to give you hell and back, whether you're in the union or not. You know, and it scares me to know about all the other people that are doing the same thing without a fucking union. It's like, damn, is this really how good it gets?
No.
It's sad. Terrifying.
We can do better. We deserve better, you know, and that's why we got to take this back from all the people that are fucking us over day in, day out. Okay, that's all there is to it. We have to take it back, and the only way we can do that is to move beyond these ridiculous labels that everybody wants to attach to everybody, and just we're, like you're saying, it's you know, humans. You know, we all got to come together and just and help each other into a better future, man.
And you know what? And that comes down to the division that we have against each other. I don't, but there's a lot of people that say, you know.
But it's been programmed. It's been programmed, Michelle. Those people from the time they're little, they're told, you know, those people are bad. You know, I mean, think about, you know, like in the 70s and 80s and 60s. You know, if there was any kind of crime drama, right? And let's see, there's a woman walking down the street. All of a sudden, there's like a black guy sneaking up behind her or something, you know. It was like this programming that black people are scary and dangerous and they'll hurt you, you know. And
you know, and it's further from the fucking truth. But like you said, we are programmed to believe that.
Yeah, program.
You do that. It's like the old saying, divide and conquer. That's what the fucking government does to us. So all these people that say black people this, Mexicans that, and Chinese this and that, it's that you motherfuckers are falling right into what they want you to believe.
Right.
Want you to believe that we are against each other and that's why life sucks. No, life sucks because the government is fucking each and every one of you, no matter what color you are. But everybody's all like, oh, it's about this, it's like, motherfucker, it's about the government.
Yeah.
We don't control shit. We know that. We don't control shit.
It's just this programming. It's like, you know, like, oh, the Democrats are better than the Republicans, or the Republicans are better than the Democrats. And they're not. They're the ones who have brought us to this moment right here in this world. And they did it hand in hand, gladly, with big smiles on their faces, bullshitting us, the little guy, every step of the way. And we have to take all the power away from the Republicans and the Democrats because they're both garbage.
You know, and I agree with that 100%. But people are so into that the government wouldn't do that to us. Well, you know what? The only reason that I like Trump, and it really gives me the cringes to even say this, the only reason that I like him is because he's actually, he's not subtle like the other politicians, like Obama. You know, Obama, yeah, the first black president, everything's gonna fucking change. And I was all like, okay, let's see. He ended up being the same fucking way as the other politicians, but
he was worse than the same as the other politicians. He was pretty much George W. Bush, okay? And George W. Bush is about as bad as it gets. What's
You know
that?
what, though? You go that far because George W. can compare with Trump, but I think George W. is a little bit better than Trump because, okay, Obama was slick to say everything's going to change. You know, first black president. Ooh, we made history. But the reason is because he knew how to sweet talk us. He knew how to fucking say it nicely, like, you know what, baby, I'm gonna fuck you over, but you're gonna like it. And when it comes down to it, he didn't do a fucking thing for anybody.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't do anything for anybody, and George W. Bush murdered 1 million innocent Iraqis based on lies in your name with your tax dollars, as if you approved for the whole thing, and to somehow, you know, and he did it with Barack Obama's help. Okay, so this is why I'm saying that Barack Obama, he gave us nothing, as you said, and the problem is nobody fucking expected a single good thing to come out of George W. Bush. Okay, number one, he wasn't elected. He's just a fucking, everybody thought he's a fucking moron, and it's a fucking dynasty thing, and, you know, he's just like, you know, a celebrity president because his daddy was president, right? But so nobody expected anything good. But Obama came along, and we saw this like glimmer of hope. We saw a man who was obviously intelligent, you know, obviously knew, you know, how to make stuff happen in the world. He just beat Hillary Clinton, the dirtiest, slickest opponent the United States has ever seen. And he fucking and he's black. He's the first black guy ever to be, you know, in the White House. And so he had all this. We really saw a potential for something, you know, more than just the same old. And he promised us something more than that. And he had the potential, because it wasn't just Democrats who supported Barack Obama when he got elected. There was so many people who wanted to see it and believed it when he said that he was the change. You know, he was going to be different. He said, you see all those presidents on those dollar bills? I don't look anything like them because I'm not like them. This is going to be different. And he wasn't. He was just like George W. Bush. And we all, and the thing is he could have been, he had what they call the mandate, which is really just fucking Thor's hammer. I got Thor's hammer, and I can make any fucking thing happen I want. And if you don't like it, I'm going to fuck with you, because the people are behind me. And that was the truth. But he never, as soon as he got elected, he never acted like, you know, I can make whatever happen, and I'm here for the people. Never once. After that, it was just another fucking politician. George W. Bush, term number 3.
Yeah. And you know what? And I agree with that 100%. Obama could have did this. He could have did that. Look at Trump. Executive orders all over the place. Fucking goddamn it. Obama had that. He had that. So he said, I'm going to do this. Oh, but Congress fucking said no. So I'm just going to let it go. He had that fucking power. He chose not to use it. He let us down.
Yeah.
And then you turn around, and now we have Trump. And it's like, you know, like I said, the only reason I like him is because he's actually showing the corruption to a lot of people who are blinded by it. Not me, but to a lot of other people who are like, no, the government's looking out for us. You know, how could they not? You know, you get Trump that he doesn't give a fuck. He's going to say whatever the hell he wants. He's told a lot of people more than they're like, what? Like, holy shit. Everybody's just like, I didn't know the government was this corrupted. The Republicans and the Democrats are the fucking same, and Obama is no different. I voted for Obama because I actually thought he was going to make a difference. And the time when he could have put the gauntlet down and say, you know what? I'm fucking executive order. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change that. He didn't fucking do anything. He went with the status quo. Same fucking shit.
Yeah, and that's why, as Michael was saying, and I've said again and again, that's why the Occupy went into the streets around the world, because it was that moment where okay, if we can't have a peaceful revolution, then we'll fucking go out into the streets and we'll demand it. We'll just sit here and we'll wait and demand what we were promised. And then they sent in their fucking cops and they bloodied everybody's heads and they labeled Occupy protesters as potential fucking terrorists. That's what Obama did. Okay, that's the kind of fucking dictator piece of shit Obama was. He didn't believe in free speech or the people one little bit.
Exactly. But he was so sweet and talking, saying like, well, hey, I tried to pass this for the people, but Congress won't let me do it. And now you see Trump, well, the Congress said I can't do it. And guess what, bitch? Boom, executive order. Boom, I'm going to do this and that. Boom, I'm going to give the fucking rich tax break and put it on the middle class. Which, what they want is to have two classes. You're poor or you're rich. What the fuck does Trump represent? The mighty dollar.
Yeah.
But people bought into it because of his, being, charismatic and whatnot. Well, look where you are now.
Well, they didn't have any other choice. It was him or Hillary, okay? So, and pretty much every single one of those people that voted for him do not regret, not voting for Hillary, because fuck Hillary Clinton.
But you know what? Because she's a warmonger anyway, then you know what? Guess what? So is goddamn Trump. Look at everything he's doing.
Yeah.
The only thing is everybody sees exactly what's going on, and everybody's like, they're all like beside themselves because they're just like, what the fuck is going on? Yes, this is what you wanted. Nobody wanted Hillary. 2016, the DNC turned around and said, well, we sure as fuck don't want Bernie because he's thinking about the people. So you know what? Hey, let's go ahead and push Hillary up there. Nobody wanted that goddamn bitch. Nobody wants her now. She's even toying with the idea, could possibly Hillary go for 2020?
No, she's not. She's
saying,
not.
That's what the fucking
that's what there's. Listen, that they say that in order to continue to act like Hillary is a viable juggernaut in the party, that she could come in and actually stir things up. But that's just a load of bullshit. Okay, because and it's just in order to continue to act like she's great and give her more power, which she doesn't deserve, as if she could actually be the president. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're trying to act. So it's a lie. There is no way, shape, or form she is going to put herself into a position to be beat twice by Donald Trump. Which she would be.
Show you though, Mike, is that the DNC doesn't give a fuck as long as it's not Warren, as long as it's not Tulsi, as long as it's not fucking Bernie. They will go ahead and accept Trump because Trump is for the rich. That's what they want to fucking do.
It really seems like they want Donald Trump reelected to me.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And then they want to fucking say, oh, now fucking Biden, the ball's on Biden. He says, now I'm taking super PAC fucking money. Okay, so now you're selling everybody out. Don't nobody want that mother. You know what? Last time that there was a debate, I fucking had a drinking game. I wanted to take a shot every time Biden said, well, when I was with Obama, every time he said Obama, god damn it, I almost drank the whole goddamn fist, man. It was so fucked up. And it's like, Biden is the same shit.
Yeah.
They're all the
Biden's worse. Biden voted for all that police state stuff, and he's not. He just not. And they have all this video of him touching women. You know what I mean? And women looking uncomfortable, and they're just gonna the second they make him the nominee, they're just gonna run that fucking video 24/7 on Fox News.
Oh my God. How much have they called him Handsy Joe Biden because of how uncomfortable he made the children?
They call him creepy Uncle Joe.
Exactly, and then Handsy Biden because he would always put his hands on kids. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And then all of a sudden, you don't hear that anywhere.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Right.
No, we're past that. That's never going to come back to haunt him. What? That is going to, there is no way he can be elected to president against Trump. No way. and it's just a waste of money. I don't know who these people are who donate millions of dollars to the guy, but that's just a complete waste.
The rich, and that's why they keep supporting Buttigieg. They keep fucking supporting him because he's out there fucking saying all lies about the other fucking Democrats that he's against, you know, that he's running upon.
I think it's the
that little piece of shit.
I think it's the LGBTQ community in big part that's supporting his candidacy. I'm guessing. It's either that or the cops. So.
Well, shit. And you know what? Earlier you were talking about how the cops are like militarized.
Yeah.
And all these cops that we see here, when you see them come up, they goddamn got tanks and shit. It's like all these guys are rejects that the military wouldn't allow because they're not fucking appropriate for the military. So all these reject cops are like, yeah, we're gonna have like we're the military against our own fucking people. That's what's going on. Bitches, if you want to play war, if you want to fight war against people that don't even have weapons on them, sign up, bitch. Sign up into the military. Oh, well, you can't cut it. You can't cut it. I gotta go with like the other day I seen on the news that said there was a fucking 11-year-old that this cop was struggling and yelling at her because he could not get her arm behind her back so he can cuff her. The little girl is screaming.
Little kids are tough, man. You do not want to mess with the little kid. An 11-year-old girl? Oh my God, dude. You're gonna have to fucking tackle him. There's no way. I wouldn't want anything to do with that.
But you know what? That little girl was already on her stomach. The cop was on top of her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He could not pull her arm back, and I was just like, "This is the kind of shit that we have. This is the kind of shit that we're supposed to be safe at."
Well, this is what I go ahead. Well, this is what I say is that look, the cops are way, 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 way overworked. Okay, and they're all post-traumatic stress, and a bunch of them are fucking steroid heads, and then there's all the fucking evil shit that's amongst their ranks. Okay, so
then you should say that every police officer's wife should give their fucking cop a goddamn blowjob before they get on the street.
Well, I kind of hope that they do, honestly. I mean, otherwise, what's the point in having a wife? I mean, come on.
But you should be, that's just like somebody saying, this is what happened to me years ago as a child, and you're gonna fucking use that as an excuse.
I'm not using it as an excuse. What I'm saying is that they're, is that they're in this position where they're not the ones that are, militarizing themselves. They're not saying, oh, well, I want to carry an AK-47 or, AR-15, and I want to wear fucking Kevlar from head to toe, and I want fucking wear camouflage. They're not making those decisions, right? That's coming from... But they don't... They either do it or they don't have a job. Like you said, they don't have other options. This is their best option, is to be a cop. And so, and it's fucked up. And I mean, it's like being part of the Nazis. I understand. Look, I posted videos of people getting their doors kicked down and their fucking dog shot, and because they fucking grew a couple of plants. Okay, that's just.
I'm not saying that because they were scared because the Chihuahua was barking at them, so they just think, oh, hey, my ankles. Oh my God, they're gonna fuck up my ankles. Let's shoot the dog. It's stupid shit like that where it's just like they're just hiring anybody they want, and then we're supposed to be like, well, they have a hard life. Well, you know what? If there's somebody that's responsible for that shit, that if you cannot determine how to be a peace officer, and that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to look out for us. All this,
they're doing what they're doing. Michelle, they're doing what they're trained to do. This is what they're trained to do. Okay?
No, but everybody who's got the fucking conscience would understand that this is not right. And then when you do have your
it's not right. That's what I'm saying, is that we deserve better. And it's not just us, we deserve better. The cops deserve better too. This fucking stupid drug war, if you take that off of us, it fucking alleviates 80% of crime in America. Okay, and then then we just have, then we don't have all this bullshit policing going on of people that would otherwise be good citizens going throughout their day. You know,
that's what it comes down to. It's like they say about, well, we need psychological fucking, testing for these cops and whatever. Anybody can fucking say, I know what's right and what's wrong, but it's what they practice. And then when you do get that occasional unicorn cop that says, hey, this motherfucker ain't doing that right. They didn't do that right. Then they get prosecuted. They get fired. The good ones are gone. It's like, I'm tired of fucking seeing the same old shit, and everybody's all like, well, if you didn't fucking do this to the cop, or if you were nice to the cop.
I didn't say anything like that. I didn't say anything like that. I'm telling you that they're part of this fucking problem also, that they also deserve better. Okay? And that the
fact is, if it's too much stressful and you cannot do your job, you've got an oath to upheld. Okay? You have an oath to the people, to the taxpayers, to the fucking human race, man. In general.
I hear, Michelle, I think that if these people, if these cops are, if they know that they're going to go out today and they're going to hurt somebody, and that's kind of what their job is to do, that they should probably try and find a better job just so that they can be a happier, healthier human being.
Well, they should have been happy when they faced children, when they fucking turn around and try to fucking put an 8-year-old in custody. They fucking go and try to handcuff an 11-year-old. What is wrong with you, man? That cop right there should not be no investigation. That should be like, you should know right from wrong, man. This kid had nothing. This kid took an extra milk, a milk jug from the lunch cafeteria, and that's how you're treating these kids?
Yeah.
There's got to be a fucking right and wrong. And it doesn't have to be like, you know what, officer, you're going to be put on, paid leave. And I told you this the other day. If the government will fucking say, if you guys fuck up, then you're going to be off without pay. And if we find out that you were correct, then we'll give you that back pay. But if you fucked up, you got to fucking lose your livelihood and not have the taxpayers pay for your fuck up. That's what gives them the right to do what they're doing. That's what gives these guys the fantasy that I've always wanted to be in the military, but I just couldn't cut it. How is a grown man not able to cuff an 11-year-old, whether it's right or wrong, and you're mad because, hey, she resisted? The kid doesn't even understand what the fuck it means to be resisting.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is wrong with people?
It's natural to resist a fucking bully, okay? It's what we do. We're not fucking, we're the top of the food chain, not some fucking squid that just fucking rolls over and lets you squash them. Okay?
And you know what? On another story they're talking about how they want to make, marijuana, it's going to be legal in all states. It's going to be legal in all states. But you watch and mark my words, how the government is going to fucking say, well, we're going to take over your business. We're going to take over your business because if there's money to be had, we're not getting it. We're not getting it. So I'd rather go ahead and buy it by somebody who's not in the goddamn system. Because when it comes down to it, and over here in Texas, they got so many billionaires that are already saying, I have a lot of farmland that, since China came in and fucked the farmers over, they're like, we need a new business. So we need to be, to have marijuana legal so that way I can grow it in my thousands of acres.
Right.
You don't think little man is going to get fucked over with that too? Mark my words. This
is what I said. I'm very nervous about the legalization, the federal legalization, because once the FDA becomes involved and they start this whole shit about, oh, well, you can't have this and you can't have that because that attracts children and all this shit, man. And like you're saying, I whatever it was you said, I like getting my weed from my neighbors as opposed to the weed that they have at the store, because the weed that my neighbors grow is way better than the shit they have at the store.
you know, and because what's going to happen is look at Monsanto, how, you know, they're putting all this fucking GMOs in our food and everything.
Yeah.
Even the farmers, they can't just go and reap their fucking fields. They have to go and buy more seeds from the GMOs and shit. And so all that fucking bad shit that we're eating, it's like, it's just there for, you know, patience for profit. It's all a big fucking game. What the hell do you think that they're going to do to the marijuana industry? It's not going to be good like it is now. It's going to be full of fucking chemicals that instead of helping the people, it's going to hurt the fucking people because that's another way it's going to get us on us again.
Yeah. No, I think that all of us who've been around for a little while are very nervous about that, Michelle.
Oh, yeah. I am definitely nervous about that.
Yeah.
You know, people right now in California, they're over there, even in Michigan, they're planting their own stuff and everything. And yet they're already feeling the pressure because they're like, oh, we want to know this and that. We want to know everything about you. So that way the government knows who to go after.
This is why I want people growing at home, you know, because if everybody, not everybody, you know, but those who, you know, are looking for a hobby and love cannabis are growing it at home, then, and that's like, you know, 2, 3, 4 people on every block in America, you know, they can't take it from us, you know, because it's just impossible at that point. Seeds and clones and all that, you just can't clean that. As like cockroaches, man. You just can't clean that shit out, you know.
Yeah, and hydro and all that good stuff. Because the way they're doing it, they're not doing it with extra shit. It's like me growing a damn rose bush. I'm not putting anything on it.
Yeah.
Just, you know, just water and love, you know.
Yeah.
When the government takes over, they're going to start putting their extra additives that are going to hurt the fucking people. So then what? Years later, they're going to be like, see, we told you marijuana is no good for you, see?
Right.
What the fuck did you put in that shit? That's what I'm scared about.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I would rather have the people that are fucking have been, you know, planting this shit, growing this shit on their own without any extra fucking bad chemicals, you know, in it. That's the real deal. When the government takes over and they say it's legal, you watch how all these poor little guys are going to get pushed over and say, no, the only seeds you can fucking get is from Monsanto.
Yeah.
Because those are the only seeds, and they run the world. They run the world. They're all in our class. They're in our foods, and you can tell. Because when you eat that shit, it's different. You know, just like what they put in McDonald's French fries to your chips to everything else. It's just like, it's not healthy for you. It's going to give you symptoms of cancer or, God forbid, anything else. And then, you know, and it's just like the people need to wake up and just say, you know what, I'm going to keep fucking buying my shit from these private growers. You know what I'm saying?
Green thumb outlaws. Green thumb outlaws.
Yeah, exactly. And that's who I'm going to buy it for. I'm not going to go to no goddamn dispensary and say, hey, I want this and that, because you know what? I don't know what I'm smoking. You might as well go back to that synthetic shit.
Well, no. The dispensaries aren't going to do that to you. I mean, that synthetic stuff kills people. So, you know, and the people at a lot of the people in the dispensaries, the guys that are like the bud tenders, you know, who actually help you make a selection or whatever. A lot of those people actually love cannabis. It's the people. It's the problem is the people. The problem is the people who love money, and the people who love money are really above us all. You know, they love money above humanity and everything else. Those are the people that are the real psychopaths, and they're the real dangerous, and they're the ones that have got the world where we're at. And we're going to have to make a better plan than this.
And that's what I'm saying, though. When the government takes over, you don't think that they're going to strong arm the people that are legit? That's why
as many people as possible need to be growing, because the first thing they're going to do is they're going to say that, you know, you can only have these strains, and like I said, if there's people everywhere on every block in America growing, then they can't take those strains away from us. Okay, but otherwise they go, oh, no more strawberry cough. strawberries only for children. Oh, no one. Fuck you and your goddamn fucking mind bullshit. It's just, oh God. We deserve so much better people than this. Oh, you gotta think of the children crap. Fuck the children. Okay? This is okay. The only people that can take care of the children are their parents. And if you can't keep weed away from your children, then fucking teach them that it's the safest drug there is, and every other fucking drug will kill you. Fucking aspirin will kill you. Fucking alcohol will kill you. Fucking cocaine will kill you. Okay? This is the safest drug you have, and if you take it, I will never look down on you. It's okay. Okay? Stop lying to your fucking kids about the goddess, because it is the only safe drug there is. And that's the reason that your kids are fucking off experimenting with pills and shit, because you don't tell them the truth that marijuana is the only safe drug. It's the only one. I will never think badly of you if you use marijuana. If you use the other drugs, I'll wonder what it is I did wrong to get this outcome. Right. And what it is you did wrong was that you didn't tell them the truth about marijuana, if you're wondering right now.
Right. And that's what I agree with. It's like, the government wants to say, marijuana is bad, but how many people have died from marijuana? A big old fucking goose egg. That's how many.
All right, Michelle, you know what? I got other callers trying to get through, so I'm glad that you called in on your last night, and I don't mean to cut you off, and I hope it's not your last night, and I'm pretty sure that it won't be. So you make an extra effort to make sure that it's not, okay?
All right, brother. I do what I can do, man. You take care.
Okay, it's good to hear from you. All right. So, and I'm glad that Michelle brought up the cannabis, because I think we made a whole bunch of good points there, especially about the little talk that you need to have with your children if you really want to keep them safe and tell them the truth about drugs. Hello, caller.
Can I make a big order for the pickup, please?
Sure. What would you like?
I like the stir-fried noodle.
That stir-fried noodle. You want that with the pork or with the chicken?
Like with the chicken, big boy.
Our chicken is so good. What else?
Oh, do you have that Diet?
And then
Diet Coke too.
Diet Coke, and then
Give the Diet Coke, big boy.
Diet Coke and chicken with noodle, and then
orange chicken.
Orange chicken. You're talking my language, brother. And then
Are you making fun of my accent, big boy?
And then
Are you making fun of my accent, big boy?
All right, it's good to hear from you. Thanks a lot for calling. And the show would not be the same without prank callers, right? I think that guy probably called like 10 times trying to get in. So I think that's hilarious, actually. So, man, now I want some orange chicken. Motherfucker! How rude. Okay, so
I wanted to take this call.
I pressed 1. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Orange chicken bing bong?
Bing bong. Okay, he's gone. I didn't even have to turn him off. But again, so it's good to have those people around too, because they need to be part of the conversation, certainly, absolutely too. And it wouldn't really be a call-in show, if you didn't have calls like that. Right? It wouldn't be like an honest, open, everybody calls and everybody gets answered and everybody gets their moment. It wouldn't be that if they didn't have calls like that. I'm pretty certain. I've done this a long time. I'm pretty sure of that. Hello, caller.
Hello, showrunner.
What's up, showrunner?
Yo, no, I'm the caller. You're the showrunner.
Okay, I'm the showrunner.
Yeah. Hi, it's Drew. I think I called on one of these before.
Hey, Drew. Good to hear from you. You're a monthly donor, right?
Yes. I might need to suspend that because my employment is being suspended.
Sorry to hear that, Drew.
It's unfortunate, but it's okay. It's not as bad as it could be because it's temporary. I basically get to come back to do the same thing for more money.
Oh, right on. Congratulations. And that sounds like a upgrade.
Yeah, thank you. I just have to take a unpaid 3-month vacation, which is kind of bold, but
you can do it.
That's right. There's lots of people out there who've got it worse, but I will need to tighten the belt for a bit. But I just want to, I'll probably come back. So anyway, I'm good. Okay. I hope you've been well as well.
I'm good, Drew. I am. What do you think of the call-in show? Have you been watching, or is this the first one you tuned into for a while, or?
Yeah, I haven't been watching lately. I think this is the first one I saw in a while. But I like call-in shows.
We've been doing the call-in show every night, Monday through Friday, at 7 p.m.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Yeah, so if you have time off, you should definitely try and join us.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Yeah, that sounds exciting. So this is probably very well trod ground for you all at this point, but I guess I'll ask anyway. If you're bored, you can say that. But I'm curious what your thoughts are of our current presidential hopefuls as they attempt to beat each other in the race to the White House.
I think that we have, the same stuff that we always have, except for a couple of exceptions, like Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be outstanding, kind of a different breed. Other than that, I see just the same people talking about. Basically, they're all talking about the same thing, and it doesn't sound like anything new, and it doesn't sound like anything that's going to actually change. It just sounds like and honestly, I don't think that anyone has the slightest chance of beating Donald Trump other than Andrew Yang or Tulsi Gabbard, because on a debate stage, I fear that he will make them look like stiff stuffed shirt politicians.
So in terms of who can beat Trump in a debate stage, I think actually Warren has an okay shot, and I actually think Buttigieg does very well. But his performance in the last debate, I think, was actually quite good. And it's not someone I necessarily would be thrilled as president, but I think he does well in that arena. Would do decently. Tulsi I don't see I guess I never have seen what her path forward is, but I don't really see it at this point, since I guess her major announcement today was that she's not going to seek an election in 2020. I think she's still at about 1.5%, 2-ish%, and the new rules are going to 3 and 4.
Right. I've seen. There was a poll last week in Iowa that had her tied with Elizabeth Warren. So it's just these. So they the polls are very controlled and in my own opinion extremely skewed.
Sure.
But the one true poll is fundraising, and it's unfortunate that the other ones have such a inbuilt kind of like groundwork for all of that already. They're already ready to raise millions, if not more, money. So, but go ahead.
I noticed an interesting thing. So I gave money to Tulsi, and
right on. Why did you do that then?
Huh?
Well, you said that you don't think that she's gonna, I mean, what was your motivating factor of giving Tulsi money?
Because I support her. I think she would make a decent president. I just don't see how. I don't see what. It's not clear to me what her strategy is, and I see her making moves that seem to me to be a mistake, like going after Elizabeth Warren. I don't really see why she did that. It seems to just sort of give her more attention. But
she wants to show. I believe her path is if she goes head to head with any candidate, including Donald Trump, that she will do exactly what she did to Kamala Harris in the debate, where she explained that Kamala Harris had done an interview. She arrested thousands of people for marijuana, and then she had done an interview where she asked if she had ever smoked marijuana, and she laughed about it and said, of course she had, and like it was nothing. And then she went on to say that she hid evidence of a death row inmate that would have cleared him from allowed him to get out of jail, and she hid that until the court ordered her to release it, and that, which to me, just destroyed her as just like a dirty cop, and the worst kind of a dirty cop, and that's no one that anybody wants for president. Someone who's going to do something like that. That's not the land of the free. That's not what we're supposed to be about. Justice for all.
I did find it very funny in both the, I don't think they bothered with it this time around, but in the last two debates where Tulsi went after Harris, and then in the first one she went after, I think it was Swalwell, neither of them really, they didn't respond well, or they didn't respond or responded poorly in the actual moment, and then they asked them again on the nightly news later to react to the same thing again, and then they throw in I don't need to respond to the they wait until she's not in the room, which is like totally chicken shit. But anyway.
That's what I'm saying. And see, this is what I'm saying. That is, I believe, her plan of attack. If she can actually go head to head with Donald Trump or Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders, although I believe she likes Bernie Sanders a lot, that she can just go and this and this and this, and you're no longer a viable candidate. That's what I think.
So I'm glad you brought up Bernie, because this is sort of where I'm going. Because my suspicion is that she got assurances today, or maybe recently, that she's secured a spot of some seniority in the Bernie Sanders administration, and that's why she feels comfortable saying she's not going to seek re-election in 2020. Because when I sent her money, I got a text from my phone number that used my name, like maybe 2 or 3 days later, from the Bernie campaign, asking if I was all in. Now, I never received the political communication from that number, or that included my name, really ever before that point. So I asked, where. They just said, a bunch of donor lists. Like, they were very vague about where they actually got me from, and didn't really say where. Now, we probably don't know necessarily, but it led me to wonder if maybe Tulsi is working a bit closer with Bernie than people realize.
Like I said, she likes Bernie. I mean, she thinks that, she supported Bernie in 2016. She stepped down as a vice chair of the DNC when they asked her to take over the chair of the DNC after Debbie Wasserman disgraced herself. And she said, no, I don't want anything to do with the organization that would treat, an honorable man like Bernie Sanders the way that you have. So I think she really thinks very highly of him. And this is what I've said. I think that Bernie Sanders can beat Donald Trump if right now Bernie Sanders announces that he'll only run for one term, and that Tulsi Gabbard is going to be his vice president. If he announces that right now, he will get so much support, and because it won't be like we're electing somebody who's going to be there forever and going to run another campaign. The minute they get in there, they're going to get in there and they're going to take care of business, and then they put somebody else in there who can do the job, who we think highly of, in case something does happen, or once he's done in these 4 years. I think that would be brilliant of the Bernie Sanders campaign.
Yeah, I think Tulsi is lobbying hard for the lead pick for Sanders, and honestly, I think it is a smart pick for him. Like, I look at the other people, like, I guess Nina Turner is an example of someone who's also in the running, who is close to him, who he trusts, and so on. But I look at that type of a pick, and I just think politically it doesn't really give him very much that he doesn't have already, whereas Tulsi can give him things that he doesn't have right now.
Right.
But
she can rev that grassroots thing back up, I think.
Yeah, she can outreach to there's a bit of a play to the center there that he's not really able to do himself.
Absolutely, I agree 100%, Drew.
So that's if that's the play, then it's not a bad one. So we'll see where it goes. But I would, I think, like you said, the question is which of them can beat Trump, and it's to this. I think there's a lot of uncertainty about that in the Democratic establishment. I don't know if you've noticed the Saturday Night Live sketch, had a thing in the conclusion of where they did a thing about the media's obsession with saying that everything, this is unprecedented, and
everything's breaking news. Yeah, everything's breaking news. What the fuck? Go ahead. I'm not actually. I record Saturday Night Live every week, but I never actually watch it.
Sure, that's fair. Well, they have like the one black guy on the panel, and he keeps saying, "I don't know, nothing's ever going to happen. He's going to be fine. He's going to win. He's going to be, and that's supposed to be like the voice of reason." So they're aware of it, which I think is interesting. I totally disagree with you about Hillary. I think she's totally intent on. I think if she could swing it, she would announce her candidacy at the convention. After the second vote, will just the delegates would just vote her in, and then that would just be that, and she'll just be voting. It would burn the country down, but I don't think she cares.
Again, I just can't see her putting herself in the position of being beat by a giant baby twice. I mean, because that's the way all those people see him, and it seems like it would just solidify this thing that Hillary Clinton is just hated and despised by more people in America, by far more people in America than she is loved by them.
But the presidency is she's turning into Captain Ahab, right? With this Moby Dick, with this, you know what I mean? Where it's
but I think it's not that she's turning into this. It's like pretty much what she's been her whole career.
Right.
That's why they tried to force her down our throats in 2016, because it was her turn. Okay, she waited long enough, and now it's her turn. Which is just beyond ridiculous. That's it. Again, you're not going to tell people. Stop telling me what to do, okay? I don't like it, and I'm going to turn away and do the exact opposite thing just because you're saying I can't do it, just to prove you fucking wrong. That's who humans are.
Said at the time in 2016, well, if Hillary's running, I'm not running. And I don't think she was the only person who made that calculus. So she had her presence there, absolutely. It was basically only Bernie had a credible, and then the other guy was just like, what the fuck are you even, just go away, who even are you, why are you here? You didn't get the message, and that's fine, but he did eventually. But I was gonna say,
and now we got 20 candidates who won't go away.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting to think that's sort of the idea, is to split so that everyone
I agree
crystallize around one person,
right?
We just sort of get the law kind of.
Yeah, no, it's they're trying to. I honestly think that is part of the plan, and I think part of that plan is to maybe drown out some other voices that they don't really, limit them to 6 minutes of conversation in the debates and stuff like that.
Well, this is why I think that that's something I try to explain to foreigners and also leftist Democrats who just can't abide Trump, is that, and maybe it will make more of an impression this time around, but I doubt it. But supposedly we have a system that where that is great, where the winners rise to the top. So if what you're telling me is that, and again, I think this is even better this time around because there are so many candidates. If you're telling me that the Democrats come together and that this group of folks is the best that America has to oppose Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump wins anyway, then, that's the democratic process, dude. I don't know what to tell you. We clearly deserve the person, and we should take a look at that rather than trying to scapegoat the dude
Well, yeah, this whole fucking Russia bullshit from the beginning. Oh, Russia meddled in our election. Well, that's what governments do all around the world, okay? And it's never bothered you in the past when they meddled in our elections. So fucking get over it, man.
What about Yeltsin? Like, the guy was like, it was said that Clinton literally bought him off with food. I mean, we had Dick Morris on the ground in Russia, like it's literally like it's ridiculous. But anyway, I do have to say though, I actually am on the hashtag impeach45 bandwagon, and I can explain why. There was a kerfuffle that happened a little while ago with the Nickelback. Where he, I guess there was a tweet or something. He tweeted a photograph, and then Nickelback sent a cease and desist, and it was a whole thing for a minute. After that, the sales of photographs spiked as a result of this, and I can't abide it. I'm sorry, but that he would actually give those untalented Canadian hacks.
Hey. Go easy on Canadians. I like Canadians.
The man, I like Canadians too, but Canadians hate Nickelback. So there's no competition. He's a traitor to this nation, and he needs to be stopped. I'm sorry, but that's it. I've had it.
Well,
the Russians, like you say, the Russians who cares? In 2016 is golden. This Ukrainian thing, like, I literally don't even understand any of the players. It's nonsense to me. But this Nickelback thing, it's unacceptable.
Well, I'm glad you put in your 2 cents, Drew. It really means a lot to me, man. It's
this is how it is.
Yeah, well, again, that's and that's why we're doing this show, because everybody needs to be heard, man, and everybody has important things to share, and we're gonna be here every night, 5 nights a week, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll run however long people are around, and I'm really glad that you stopped in tonight, Drew, and I hope that your vacation isn't too long from work. And I'm glad to hear about your promotion too.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's sort of a promotion. It's really the same thing. It's just that this time I'm going to actually negotiate for a salary, and they will have no choice but to give it to me.
Nice. That's a good position to be in.
Indeed. Yeah, assuming I keep it, because I only have so much saved. But it should be fine.
You can do it, man.
Yeah. Word.
All right, Drew. Well, thanks a lot for calling. I'll see if anybody else wants to go. Hope we hear back from you again in the next few days.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
All right, stay cool. All right, you guys. So we got 3 hours and 30 minutes, and I got to take a wicked piss. So I'm pretty much done here. And by the way, no one has kicked down a single donation. I'm not talking to you, Wilco. I'm just letting you guys know that we're out here. I mean, I'm out here. I'm making this happen. You guys know I'm trying to do the right thing. And again, this is and it's not that this is about the donations. This is about us coming together and touching bases, man. You know, even if it's just a hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Bernie Sanders.
Bernie, it's good to hear from you, brah.
What the hell you doing?
I'm having a call-in show. We were just talking about you, man.
I heard that you're promoting the Tulsi Gabbard.
She should be your VP, right?
You misunderstand my whole strategy here.
Okay, go.
I want the Warren.
What about the Warren?
The Warren is going to be my vice president.
That's a horrible.
I don't want the brown-eyed Tulsi.
That's a horrible pick, bro.
No. You don't understand. She's got goods on me.
Oh well, that makes sense then.
She saw me naked, okay, and she's blackmailing me. And you guys, you kids, you don't understand this political stuff. Really hardball.
Well, we deserve better, Bernie.
I just don't warning you about the Tulsi.
I love the Tulsi. Tulsi is great.
She's the devil.
Well, then the devil never looks so good, my brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's a devil.
Okay. I'm not arguing.
So forget about the Tulsi.
No.
Vote for me.
You know, Bernie, if you become the nominee, I hope you pick Tulsi because she'll make a great VP and bring a whole lot of people to your little party that you're not going to get without her. And that's all I'm saying.
I need the gay vote. I'm going to go for the booty gay guy.
Yeah, well, he's a police state firster, and you're going to lose a whole bunch of Bernie supporters if you pick him. So, you know.
But I need the gay.
Yeah, well, the gays will go along with the Democrats, whatever.
Really?
Of course. What else are they going to do? Is fucking turd sandwich or giant douche? And they don't want a giant douche or a turd sandwich. You know, they prefer turd sandwich from what I hear.
Oh, my God. I'm so glad I talked to you. I'm straight now. Thank you so much.
All right. It's good to hear from you.
Later. Take a piss, will you?
I got to have a piss real bad, man.
All right. See you later.
See ya. And we love it when we get the celebrity callers. So thanks so much for joining us tonight, Bernie. Anyways, I guess we got time for a bong hit here. You want to have a bong hit there, Wilco? All right, guys. So again, we're going to do this every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m., same Mox time, same Mox channel. And we want everybody to join in who can. So, I think it was a pretty good show tonight. I enjoyed it. It seems like other people enjoyed it. And I hope that you enjoyed it too, and that you will try and give something back and encourage and help keep Mox strong so that we can continue to make this happen. Because, you know, I've been making this happen a long time. And you just heard Drew say that he's going to have to withdraw his monthly contribution. And that is going to hurt me. I can tell you right now. And I don't, and hopefully, you know, it won't be too bad a hurt, but it's going to hurt me. For sure. So, you know, hopefully it won't be that big a deal. Hopefully the live show will get more people wanting to give something back and we'll make something good happen. But Mox News survives solely on contributions from good people like you. So if you can, please give something back so that Mox News can live to fight another day. Even though the juggernauts have been trying to get rid of us for the last 16 years, I'm still here, motherfuckers. And if I got anything to say about it, I'll be here for as long as I can. So, you know, because I'm not the kind of push around. All right, you guys. It's always nicer when you're here. I'm glad we had this time together, and I look forward to it very much. Again, starting Monday. Same Mox time, same Mox Talk channel. See you Monday. Bye-bye.